Chicago Tribune, 19 people were hospitalized at a furry convention in Illinois after what's being called an intentional leak of chlorine
What's
gas.
a furry convention?
Did I get that wrong?
A leak there? Oh, gosh.
Okay. Officials were called when a strong odor of chlorine spread.
I think they had to evacuate the building and everything. Sent the hotel guests along with convention attendees into the cold night, many still dressed in their furry costumes.
We just told Mika what the convention was about.
Costumes kept everybody warm was the good news. The hotel was
Where are you going?
contaminated.
Hey!
Guests came back inside at 4 a.m. Police still
Come back!
The matter is a criminal investigation.
Could you check on Mika, see if she's okay? She's over there somewhere.
Mika has left the building.
All right. Coming up, we've got the Muzz Street opinion pages. We're going to be searching for Mika. I guess
She just learned something. Learned something important about this world.
learned something that we all wish we didn't know. She ran out of the studio. We also have...
Isn't that great?
Oh my God.
She gets so. Hey, John.
Hey.
Oh, that was great.
You just rummaging there, Aren't you supposed to be in Virginia or something like that?
Why are you here? You're not supposed to be here.
Nobody can hear you.
We can't hear you.
You got no sound, John.
No.
No sound.
Can't hear you.
No sound.
Can't hear you.
Why are you in our house?
He
You
can't hear us either.
Oh, well. Can anybody else hear us?
Can anybody hear us?
I hear you.
Go to the comments.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think somebody broke into our house.
Yeah.
Can everybody
What's
hear?
up with that?
Can everybody hear us out there tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. As long as those are live. John can't hear us.
Oh,
He just left.
we lost
And
John.
He has left the building. Welcome everybody. It is Hump Day.
Yay.
January. What's today's date?
11.
17th.
Hey.
You break into our house?
Hey.
Look, you upset my pity.
I know. Intruder. Welcome to Coffee
alert.
Table Chronicles, everybody.
It's Wednesday and we have a full cast.
We have a full cast and we have a full show.
Why are we really
Very busy
dark?
show.
All right, let's cut to the intro.
Let's hit that intro.
And once the show started,
So it was something.
Really?
on-
That's
couldn't
weird.
hear
That's
anything.
odd.
Well, you weren't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I'm still not.
He's not here.
Okay.
Welcome everybody. Good to see everybody tonight. We got a packed show tonight.
Oh, we got a packed show.
We even have a hooker.
We even have a hooker.
We even have a hooker.
So I get to
Man.
use my new hooker intro.
All right,
I'm so
let's
excited.
roll with some memes here.
We're
and get
really
this going.
dark. See how dark we are?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, we are.
Kinda
Right?
You
like
guys are.
I think it's the coffee on the bar.
it. It could be.
Oh, you know what? Those top lights are all pointed this way.
I know. That's what I was saying. And he said he didn't touch any. And
No, I
I'm like,
haven't
yeah, he
touched any
did.
of them.
Yeah.
Not
They
since
were-
last
Why are
week.
we on the wrong sides?
What?
Oh, we are.
Oh, we are.
Does Will know how to fix that?
Well, if you click on our picture and drag it over to where John is, you can switch us around.
There you
Oh,
go.
is
There you
it that
go.
easy?
It's that
Yeah.
easy. Look
It's
at that.
that easy.
Bam.
Magic.
That way it makes sense.
What else can I do?
There you go.
He's gonna.
Oh,
have-
it's like what's the Brady Bunch with all
Oh,
the kids
yeah,
in the squares?
yeah.
There you go.
I like it.
That's funny.
Will got a new toy.
All right, we got a lot of memes tonight. So let's get to the memes.
My fault.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
you gotta
Oh,
you
I
gotta
like
switch to
Magical
the other
memes.
bank.
There's
Oh,
like
those,
fairy
are,
dust.
those are truth about beer ones. You
Damn
don't
it!
do
I gotta
that.
switch to the bank.
That would not be that.
Nope. Go ahead. And,
Who's
Remind
on
me how to
tonight?
let's
switch
bring
banks.
up some memes.
Who's on tonight?
And
Everybody's
I'll
on
switch
tonight.
it for you.
Whose meme is this?
It's mine, but you can.
America loves guns. Over 16 million sold in 2022. We only bought 2.
Those are rookie numbers.
I know.
Yeah, those are rookie numbers. Actually, this was a record-setting year again
Wow.
for like
Doesn't
the
surprise me. What
for
was
like
21?
for like the 6th year in a row, or 7th or 8th, something like that.
Because 20 was really high with all the
Yeah,
riots.
it's
wasn't
barely. It inches up a little bit each time. It's not a whole lot, but yeah.
That's okay. Buy more guns. I'm okay with that.
Let's see if 2023 we can get that over 18 million.
I'm sure we can do that.
Oh, there'll
I'm
be
sure.
people that their heads are going to be exploding.
Oh, good lord!
Luckily, there's nothing to explain on this one.
Oh my gosh.
So I sent. Do you even know how many I sent you today and yesterday?
Like 16.
That's
No, more than
hilarious.
that actually.
Like
so I
16
told
and
him. I
one.
said, just pick the ones that make you laugh.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Well,
Oh, what do you do when you?
When you finally decide to become a lesbian, but the first woman you hook up with has a penis.
Right?
That's
Whoopsie.
that's great.
Technicalities.
I thought that was funny.
But you identify as a woman, right? Okay,
Right.
we're fine.
That's a lot to
Oh,
read.
embarrass your friends with Instagram. Actual photo. A friend will. Oh, see. A friend will ask you what is wrong after a long. Well, you get the point.
Get the
It's-
picture.
It's hard to read from this distance.
What is wrong after a long night of drinking?
This was a
good
whole
friend
thing
will
on the
hold
Chive
your hair
about-
for you when you
When's
get
it over here?
sick. But
There you
a
go.
best friend will encourage you to drink more than you did on your 21st birthday, and you can Uber
You don't have to read the whole thing.
hipster pictures on your Instagram. Share your special moments with the world.
Right.
It was a whole article on modern type stuff in old timey commercials. And that was the only one. That was the only one that
That's
was really
fun.
funny.
That is hilarious.
I love this one.
I sent that to Keith.
Doesn't fly fresh eggs. We'll trade for 2015 a newer Jeep. Don't try to lowball me.
I know what I got.
No
You know,
kidding,
that's-
right? It's getting crazy out
It
there.
is.
Seriously.
It's almost
Absolutely.
$10 for an 18 pack now.
It's
All right.
almost
So
like
this one made me laugh because of the fact that, so this is mine. Now, Wendy will attest to the fact that there are a lot of times when the
Okay, I just figured out what that was.
I was gonna say it's sad
when
that
it
we know what
when it
says.
comes,
I
you
know
a
what
lot
that
of times, a lot
says.
of times I don't get what they are, and I'm sitting there now. You know,
Oh,
right?
I know what that
Wendy's
says.
always got it. Wendy's always got to decipher it for me. But this one, I got right away. Get the F down here right now before I beat your ass.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yep. Pretty
And
much.
that usually just involves just a look.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anytime you,
and then you follow like this.
yeah, you're right.
You're like, okay,
Okay.
I'm coming.
Don't do it in front of everybody, Mom. My friends are here.
Yeah.
I know. I can only imagine that Kathy's had to do that once or twice.
Not with this.
Not to me, no.
One. With the older ones,
Never.
100%.
Christine was the first self-driving car to catch on fire way before Tesla made it standard. Made it a
Right?
standard
Made it a
feature.
You got to wonder if that's where Elon got the idea. Hey,
right?
He's
And that
like, I
was a
can do
great
that.
movie.
Yes, it
oh,
was.
that's an
Oh, it was,
outstanding
yep.
movie. Hey, it's a Stephen King. It's got to
Yeah.
be.
I didn't like the
Absolutely.
remake though. Did you watch the remake?
No, I didn't
It
even know there
wasn't-
was a
Yeah, it
remake.
wasn't as good as the
Yeah.
original.
Usually isn't.
Never is.
I love this one. I thought this was funny.
That's the best.
Every day, thousands of innocent plants are killed by vegetarians.
Help end the
Help
violence.
end the violence.
Oh, and he
That's
shows
cute.
this to me right after I chopped up peppers for like vegetables, and I was like, "Oh, I feel
This
bad."
next one, John, I laughed my ass
Well, I
off
mean-
when I read it.
Where do you think he
Which
got the
one is
picture
this?
from?
I know, right?
The moon.
Oh, the moon. You got to, show this, Will, because
was
this is moon's fucking massive tonight. What the fuck?
That's awesome.
You know that's a pass.
Mind your
Mind your
business.
business. I need a dozen eggs.
Yep, that's gonna be me. Mind your business.
Oh man, this
Oh,
is good too.
Tell me this is not, but this is what happened, right?
Yep.
El Paso before the visit and El Paso after.
Yep,
Yeah.
or during.
I mean,
rather.
that's pretty freaking accurate.
right.
Mhm.
That's funny.
Thank God for Photoshop.
I like this one. You realize there's a
Yes.
Friday the 13th in January this year.
So excited.
Oh,
It's this Friday.
It's this for
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I'm supposed to. Oh crap! I'm supposed to do something.
Are you?
You'll think of it on the
This
14th.
was
I
good.
will.
yeah, because this
Oh,
is the most
yes.
accurate shit I've ever seen. Me, my sense of humor, and people who are easily offended, right?
Right.
Because that is me,
Throw that
or
out
that is
there.
our friend Brian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Or that is you and Brian together.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
True.
True,
Good
yeah.
point.
Yes.
The chickens
Did you
to
see
surprise
that?
eggs went up.
Woo, woo.
Oh man. It's funny you sent this because I
So
saw
come
it
to think of
last
it,
week.
I've never seen these two in the same room at the same time. Think about that. And they look, right? Isn't that a little scary?
I mean, they look like twins.
Who's the other
Very
person?
scary.
Which one? One on the left
Well,
and
I
the one
know
on the
that
right.
I know the man woman, but what's the one? What's the man?
So that's Mitch McConnell,
McConnell,
from
yeah.
Kentucky. He's a senator from Kentucky.
Oh
Or is it Michelle?
no, because the double chin is even the same.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right?
For
That's
real.
I
uncanny.
mean, is that
Right? They could
Right?
be.
It could be
Well, I
true.
mean, you got to wonder where
is that a true picture of the woman on the left though?
Rachel Levine or something
Yeah.
like that. I think
Could-
so.
I mean, it
pretty-
almost looks like a Photoshop.
Yeah. It could be.
Oh.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Looks like it.
That's pretty
I don't know. It looks kind of
Look,
Photoshopish.
look her up and see if you can find a
pretty
real
close.
picture.
It's pretty close. Excuse me, are you all the cult? It's not a cult. We just think January 6th was worse than 9. Yep, this is it.
For real.
That was good. I can't read that.
I just saw 2 Republican members of Congress almost fight in the House floor over an internal vote for Speaker. How come they never got this mad at Democrats when they rammed their agenda through crushing middle class America?
Right?
Right?
100%. 100%.
Gotta agree with that.
I have some opinions on that though.
You do?
Time.
You have lots of
I
opinions.
have-
Will
I
has
have
an
a lot of
opinion?
opinions.
No. This was great.
All right. I was reading a
love this.
cookbook from
I
the 80s
saw
and
this.
stumbled across this gem. New turkey dressing. Highlighted as half a cup of uncooked popcorn. Mix well, stuffed turkey, cook 5 hours at 300 until popcorn blows the ass off the turkey.
You know, you gotta. They had a sense
You
of
all right,
humor back then.
I knew she liked that one.
Can you imagine the inside of the oven?
All right. So now tell me this isn't Shiva.
Oh, yeah,
Jesus.
totally.
Oh,
Stop
yeah.
watching him for 2 seconds and he picked a new family.
Right.
He looks at you like, hey, how do you like me now?
Right?
Like, you're not mad at me no more, are you?
Won't give me no more
Uh-huh.
cookies. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
You said no cookies. I'm gonna go over here. They
Yep.
like me.
My coworker just died suddenly.
That's awful. Were they vaxxed?
That's so inappropriate to ask.
Dude, you want to know if I was vaxxed before you let me into a fucking McDonald's.
See, that's a little almost too scary.
Right.
Yep.
It's true. What's happening?
Now we're all concerned
dead
about
accurate.
people's health.
Oh,
privacy.
fuck around and find out.
Love that.
Protected by fuck around and find out a lot.
Mhm.
That-
You know,
need
I want that
sign.
sign.
We need to get those signs.
I know.
Erica got us the
The
floor
rug,
thing.
yeah.
Let's see about 2022. It was a rough year.
Oh, that's messed up.
man.
Damn, Jennifer.
Oh, poor
Wow.
girl.
That made Erica laugh. I like that.
I don't know if you want to bring that next one up yet.
No?
That's unless John wants to talk about it. That's the El Paso one. The next
Well, I
one.
mean, we already kind of talked about it. And we can talk about it. I mean, go ahead and bring it up. I
Okay.
mean, we'll talk about it for a quick hot second. But I mean, these are some of the pictures. They say that there's all sorts of pictures, but you can see the before and after, you know, Wednesday on the left, Thursday on the right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they say they literally threw all these people on a bunch of buses and shipped them out of town.
To where?
Arizona.
Nobody said
Probably.
nobody's ever said
Does
where.
it matter?
Right?
In
Exactly.
Mexico.
They did not want to ruin their Biden photo op.
Of course not.
Well, and they say that, you know, the place that he visited, the actual border crossing that he visited, is a place where trucks come across the border,
Yeah.
not where illegals are coming across the border.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
I mean,
where they
there are
inspect
some
truck-
illegals.
Yeah, but they mostly inspect truck traffic.
Yeah, but that's
So
why he
didn't
picked
see.
it.
So he didn't see anything.
That's why he picked it.
Right.
Hello.
Well, I mean, that's true. I
You
know that.
have to be. I'm not going to say that statement.
imbecile.
Because he is an imbecile. So I wasn't going to say
I was
that.
gonna say you have to
But
be an
to
imbecile
not
believe
realize
it.
that you have an issue with the border, it's come on. It's a fucking joke.
So, Will, did you see the letter that Governor Abbott handed him?
Oh, really?
I
He
heard
handed
about
him a
that.
letter?
I
about
heard
that.
a little bit about it.
What-
And I didn't get a chance to actually look into it.
If you look it up, it's easy to find on the internet.
Do we know what
anywhere.
it says?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
By,
do tell.
Of course, John
Abbott
does.
Abbott released it to the press,
I would
Okay.
too.
but he personally handed the president a letter. It starts off with in the first paragraph saying you are about $20 million in 2 years too late.
Yes, that much I did hear.
100%.
So I
Well,
mean,
you started this. This is all you, bro.
and so he went on to say that this is all on your administration. You guys caused this. You need to do, and he outlined
'em all back.
like I think 4 items that needed to be done, including beef up border patrol and finish the wall.
And deport everybody back where they came from.
Which,
That's beyond what the governor can do,
incidentally,
but he's just trying to stop it. So
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very pointed. It's very much, and then the president has the audacity, or John Claude Van Damme has the audacity to say that he didn't read it yet.
Of course he did. He
Wow.
doesn't. He can't read. He has dementia and Alzheimer's. He doesn't. He can't comprehend that.
speaking of what was in that letter, John, did you
Yes.
hear about the president of Mexico's speech today?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Literally thanked Joe Biden.
For not doing 1 meter of wall.
Of course not.
Yeah.
For the first president,
Of course.
for the
First
first
president-
president in 3 administrations to not put 1 meter of additional security on the border,
Absolutely.
and he got
blew my
thanked
mind.
by the Mexican president.
Absolutely.
That just tells you right there.
Because he's making all his
Mhm.
money off of him.
And I'm sure there's certain kickbacks that, someone's
Like-
getting.
Right?
Like-
the cartels are paying the president,
Oh,
Any-
absolutely.
Any normal person
Mexican
would be
president.
cringing listening to the president of Mexico
The speech.
saying that, listening to that speech. But,
but
Biden probably just stayed in la la land, like, oh,
Yeah.
somebody mentioned
No, there
my
was actually a
name.
point where the president. So I'm amongst all the other things that are infuriating with this administration. One of the things that we're going to do, so we can, the Mexican government has agreed that they will take up to 30,000 Venezuelans, Cubans, and Argentinians.
Mm.
I can't remember what the third one was, that we will send back. And they said, fine, and the experts are going, fine. That's just 10% of those countries that are sending people our way.
Right.
That's only 10%. And so, but on top of the Mexican government taking these 30,000 people a month, we have to pay them for
Of
it.
course we do.
Oh,
What?
jeez.
We have to pay them for it because, again, it's the Bank of America.
Why are we paying anyone to take?
We got their people.
Because,
Because Biden's
They
in
should be
charge.
paying us.
right?
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
I mean, shit, the number of people we have of theirs, they owe us 10,000 more.
Well, I mean,
times
the thing
more than
is-
we owe them.
I mean, they're
Put
giving.
some National Guards on, do what Texas did. Put National Guard on all the holes.
Yep.
And tell them basically turn around at the river. No, don't even come across. You're not getting across.
Shoot to go.
Put a bunch of barbed wire up. Do like Ducey did and put up walls and
Yeah,
things like that
shipping
with shipping containers.
anything.
Guess what? Mexico will do something then.
Yeah.
You remember when Ben Carson was running?
Yeah. Yeah. I love
Mhm.
Carson.
Yeah.
I like
guy.
Carson, but he got a lot of flack for one of the things he said. And I really would like to see that idea come back into play because he talked about drone striking, where these big groups.
So much-
Really?
so much for being a
Oh,
doctor.
wow.
right?
Yeah, he got a lot of flack for that.
He did
for
get a
sure.
lot of flack for it, but let me tell you something right now. That'd be a great thing because
It's
that'd
only
turn
gotta
them
happen
sons of
once,
bitches
right?
Yeah,
around.
right.
Yeah.
And then all you
All
need is a
of a
little
sudden-
kid.
Nope, I ain't
all
going.
you need is a little kid
Yeah.
flying a drone, and they're like, "Oh, I'm good.
I'm
I'm good."
good.
Yeah. You go first.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then you just all you have to do after that is just put speakers up at the wall.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or hell, why don't we take it a step further and take
That's
a lesson
awesome.
from
That'd be
all those
funny.
third world countries and just put a minefield out there?
Right.
Right?
Good with that too.
Just be done with it, and then it's like fucking. They'll get to that freaking river, and they'll be like,
I don't know why you
maybe not.
just throw a bunch of crocodiles in the river. That'll solve your problem.
I do remember a joke of an
True.
idea. Somebody said that the Florida has a problem with too many swamps and too many gators, and our border has a problem with too many people coming across. So dig a giant moat, move all that dirt over to fill in some of the swamps, move all those gators over to put in the moat.
There's your solution.
There you
Problem
go.
Good.
Done.
solved.
Problem
Problem
solved.
solved.
The gators will be well fed.
Hey,
a
by the way,
while.
isn't paying for people, isn't that considered slavery? I'm just like curious.
It's actually human trafficking.
Extortion.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think it could fall under a number of things.
If you pay them to work, it is slavery. If you pay them
Right.
to, move them someplace, it's human trafficking.
Human trafficking. True.
So we're human trafficking and inducting slaves.
Well,
like
I mean,
it.
they've said
Well-
for the last 2 years that the United States government is the largest human trafficker in the world.
Absolutely.
Paying them to keep them, isn't that kind of prostitution?
There was somewhere I forgot about where, but I saw it on Newsmax today that I wish I could remember what city, but basically where they're putting all these immigrants in some fancy 5-star hotel,
Oh, yeah.
and the staff inside were taking pictures of all these, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars worth of food that's getting thrown away daily
Oh,
because
jeez.
they're having it catered in, and
Just sits there.
it just sits there, and then they throw it all away at the end of the day,
Wow.
and then
stupid.
the
And
cycle
it's all
starts
paid
over
by the
again.
government.
But we have homeless vets. We have,
Yeah.
don't even
Yeah,
get
all these
started.
different things. We got people living on the streets, American citizens living on the streets, and we can't take care of them.
Right.
No.
It's
But we'll
it's a
take care of the
joke.
ones that have nothing to do with this country.
Right.
What a joke.
Right?
Good times. Hey, I want to talk about new coffee here real quick, guys. So went here for the first time a couple days ago. Great place.
Right
It's
around
called
the corner.
Yeah, it's local here to Queen Creek, just minutes away from downtown, pretty much. It's Americano Ammunition Coffee. Very cool
Okay.
place.
Hmm.
Really good coffee. It's delicious coffee.
So good.
What I love about it is each bag has a caliber of bullet that they
On the
talk about. So that's how they name their
okay.
coffees.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then it actually gives you a little history about the caliber on the back of the bag.
Oh, very
It
cool.
also talks about the
Very
coffee itself.
educational.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And they do sell ammunition at the store.
Oh,
Get
do
out.
they
Really?
really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Really?
Yep. They
You can
sell
get
ammo.
a coffee and a
Coffee and
case
ammo.
of nines.
Only
I
in
love it.
Arizona, you can go for coffee and get ammo too.
Right.
Just
For everybody-
saying, 2 for
Awesome.
1 shopping.
For everybody in Arizona, that is located right next to the Big Gin
Gin.
Cotton.
Yep.
Nope.
No, 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 no,
Try
no, no.
again.
All
I
right, start
can't
over.
speak.
Everybody reset.
Big tin cotton gin.
There you go.
That too.
Big
Quit.
Gin Cotton Tin apparently is what I was trying to say. Not a day for me to talk, I guess.
Somebody wants a big
That's
gin.
funny.
The big gin cotton tin, that too.
Very cool place. So if you guys are in
So
Arizona,
neat.
go check it out. It's really, I did a little video. We'll play it a little bit later of the building.
Well, you showed the coffee earlier this week, and it
Yeah.
was delicious.
Yeah,
It
I mean, the
looked
coffee's
so
really good. I mean, I've been drinking. That's what I'm drinking now, even though I still have my Black Rifle stuff and I still love Black Rifle, but I like to support local. And these guys are local. It's
And
made
it's
made here in
delicious.
Arizona. And they coincidentally happen to run the gun shows out here in Queen Creek,
Awesome.
too. So
Which, you know,
Cool.
isn't a
I-
bad thing.
I haven't happened to try them yet. I've seen them and I've heard about them before.
they have a nice setup, a
I've-
little
I've heard a lot of
drive-through.
good
It's a
about
small
them.
little building. It's really cool. You can drive
Nice.
in and
Yeah,
get your
we've driven
coffee.
by it a couple of times, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we should go try it.
Excellent place. Really cool. And I found out from the owner that the buildings that sit on that property
Mm-hmm.
were transported from the base when the base shut down.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So they're
So-
all
I
didn't
military.
know.
Yeah.
From Williamsfield?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Very
pretty
cool.
cool.
There's a lot
Some
of
nice
history,
history,
on that property.
yeah.
It's very cool. Very cool place. Go check it out.
No, it's actually real.
Oh, it's real
full-
coffee. No,
he
it's-
can do it.
Yeah,
I
he'll be
can't
up
do
all
it.
night.
Yeah.
No.
No.
He'll
doesn't
have it right
affect me.
before he goes to bed, and he's totally fine.
Oh, I
Doesn't
could drink
affect me.
coffee and go
If
to
I
sleep.
drank
Yeah.
coffee after 11 o'clock, I am up all night.
Nope. I love coffee.
I'd
Can't
be
do
like,
it.
11 in the morning?
Yeah, if I drink it after 11 in the morning, I will stay up all night. It's so weird.
Really?
Can't do it.
Yeah, coffee has too much caffeine. If I have just a little bit, it's like I'm
You're
wet.
like
buzzed.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I think I've been drinking it since I'm like 12, so it
Yeah.
doesn't bother me anymore.
No.
My body's
Tolerance.
immune. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If I
You
can only
just
do
like
that
the
with
flavor
whiskey,
of
I'd
it.
be okay.
Right?
I heard a rumor today.
Did you?
Oh,
Oh, and what was the rumor?
I heard a rumor that somebody might have a hooker of the week.
We do.
Ooh.
We have a hooker of the week.
There's a hooker of the
And
Are
there
week.
we,
is
are we
a
doing
hooker
that
of the week.
before we do the news?
Well, yeah, because the news kind of signs us off.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, let's do the hooker. Where's my hooker music?
oh,
It's like a zombie hooker.
That's
Yeah.
a nice hooker. I told him to do it from the backside.
I want to do
She
that.
looks like she was rode hard and put away
Oh,
well.
She was slapped
Oh.
together back
Yeah.
wet. And
Can I just ask, was that hooker model based off of Pelosi? Because that's a nasty looking bitch.
yeah, that face could be, but Pelosi's tatas do not look anywhere near that good.
This is true. That
So.
bitch needs some hell of a wonder bra.
Yeah.
All right, so who is our hooker of the week?
Okay, so our hooker of the week is Miss Geraldine Maxwell.
Giselle.
Whatever her fucking name is.
Whatever the fucking name is.
Okay, so she. Sorry, I have to get my notes.
That's a great stare right there.
I mean,
yeah, I just called her a
yeah.
hooker. She looks terrible. So sorry.
She should have been like hooker like months ago.
I can't believe she's never been a hooker.
I know.
So what has
Right.
Giselle done?
So Miss, is it really Giselle?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Ghislaine?
Ghislaine,
Okay.
whatever her name is. Yeah.
So-
Call her Giselle.
Jizz bucket. How about that?
That's what she helps him in. So
Clap
she.
for that, you stupid bastard.
Yep, that too. So she went to jail. We all know she went
Yeah.
to jail for
Yeah,
helping with the pedophile rings. Okay.
Yeah, for Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, with Mr. Epstein. So
Who did not kill
she.
himself?
What?
Did not kill himself.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, not
Epstein
at all.
didn't kill himself.
He's
No.
probably still alive. I'm joking. So she went to jail for luring and grooming teenage girls to be sexually abused and exploited by Epstein and all of his people.
Right.
Mhm.
Right? That's what we know. So she is now in prison doing a weekly women's empowerment class.
Say what?
Right?
Where's your goat?
Oh,
Yeah, right?
Oh, he's got oh man, buttons all over the place.
I
Yeah.
promise
Oh.
you,
So
I was a Democratic caucus.
I heard him. Caucus.
There he is.
There he is.
Was gonna hit
So-
You
everybody.
just
Yeah.
rotate them around.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you really just move to different spots? Oh,
You
that's
just fuck
me.
with them, huh?
Yeah, he's keeping me on my toes.
That's
He
what's
loves
fun.
it.
And the funny thing is,
So-
what the audience at home doesn't know is all he does is just relabel them. He doesn't move the button.
No, I do. It,
Oh,
it
he moves
moves,
the buttons.
it
No,
moves the
he
buttons
hasn't
around.
changed the labels.
No, the
yet.
labels still say
No,
what they
labels are
said
still whatever
on
they
day
were.
one.
Yeah. So she went to jail for grooming these, 10, 11, 8, 9-year-old girls
Yeah.
to be hookers.
Well, that's speculation, but okay.
No, she got
No,
thrown in
she's
jail for it.
convicted.
She got thrown in jail for it.
No, but you're saying that's what she's doing now, right?
No, that's
Oh.
what she did. That's what
Okay.
she went to jail for.
But now she's
So now she's showing women how to be empowered and strong, right?
Okay.
Or
I'm afraid of what she's really teaching them in jail.
Or are we getting all the young girls who are 17 or 18, 19, 20 saying, "Oh, do you have a little sister? Can she contact so and so?"
That's scary, isn't it?
That is scary. It's disturbing.
I mean,
Right? Because you're in there with a
Some-
guard, and once you get trusted, they'll
Well, and or
leave.
the moms that all of a sudden have
These little babies now.
that show up and
And where are the babies at? Oh, I have a friend who will help you take care of those little infants.
Yeah.
honestly,
or the
that
10-year-old or whatever.
Mhm.
that hooker's evil enough. Somebody just needs to beat the facts out of her that we need, and then just
Steal her black
Well,
book.
again, why is she?
and be
No.
done with her.
Why is
Why
she
do we
even
not
giving
have the
that option?
names? Why do we not have the names? Why is she still alive?
Yep.
Those are the two. key
Oh,
questions.
absolutely. Because there are too many people,
And-
leaders that their names are in that book. We
And
know.
hopefully
that.
in that order.
Well, where is the book?
Hopefully in that order. Yeah.
I'm sure the
Where is
government
the
has
book?
it. I'm sure the government
It's,
has it.
somebody's
it's in
got
one
it.
Hunter's laptop.
Right. It's in that same social security box.
Yep.
So that's
All
my
right.
hooker.
I can't think of an.
That's a
end.
good hooker.
I can't
It
think of
is.
an
She
end
was
for
good.
her
It
that's
is.
painful enough, though.
All right, hit the music.
Oh, I can.
News.
News.
That button hasn't changed. You got to do the other one.
Well, my bad.
There you go.
There we go.
Bam.
All right, Coffee Table Chronicles, number 64, episode 19.
Morning, Will.
We're gonna start right off with the topic.
Oh, going right into the top.
Right into the topic.
Okay.
You
Here we
saw this.
go.
What do you mean?
Look at
You
that.
saw this?
Isn't that Will?
I
Is
thought you were
that
going
you
to
in
switch
the
it
goat?
around.
No. Why would I switch it? I got it approved by the boss. And I got
So Did you put a goat in there just because of?
Just because of that, I had to put a goat in there.
We did.
It was fun. It was fun to do.
It was hilarious when he sent me the picture. And I was like, "Oh my god, is that Will?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Lindsay's gonna have to read that because I'm not gonna be able to read that. But I want to start off by saying something with this topic. So I'm going to share a personal story where I've dealt with a situation like this a little bit later. But for all those parents that are going to get pissed off at me for talking about this, because the kids' imaginations, that's not what this is about. This is not an imagination. Teenagers going into high school. This is about adults. This is about taking something that was supposed to be one thing and turning it into something completely different.
And we'll
so that's kind of the whole idea. So before you get offended,
we're bound to.
Who do we have
somebody.
in our audience that's going to get offended?
Before you get offended,
not our
put
audience,
your
but,
panties on and wait till the end.
But I will tell you that I had a lot of responses today on Facebook about this episode, like people I've never seen before. So I'm guessing some new people are probably going to jump on and see this.
Well, wait and be patient.
So we'll see what happens.
Really, people?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Really?
So I'm on watching on Facebook because I was hoping that we were going to get people, and you know how I said panties, and then it said panties.
Well, let's be real. Let's be
Yes.
real. It is entirely fine if somebody wants to get offended, but if they want to get offended, how about we have a real conversation rather than just getting all pissy and being
I'll tell you. Well,
wait, what?
People who are going to be offended are just going to be offended. They're not going to talk to you.
Right. This is my general rule with social media: is once you start calling names, that means you've lost.
Yeah, I'm good. That means I got to you.
Yeah. Once you start spewing out, different names, then that means you lost.
All right. So this whole concept of being a furry, I've never heard of furries before up until we started talking about it
until you saw the news article.
Crazy.
Exactly. So I figured Jeff Fox would be perfect.
You might be a furry if you like anthropomorphic animals.
I'm not even sure what that is.
That is the anime.
Like anime.
Oh, okay.
Anime characters. Okay. Yep. You want to be one.
Obviously.
You draw animals.
Uh-oh.
Not sure what that has to do with anything. You create characters. Again, not sure what that has to do with anything. I'll
explain what that has to do with it.
You like dressing up as animals.
Okay, that I can see.
Yep.
You don't judge the fandom.
They call it fandom, yeah.
Okay.
You identify with an animal, and you write furry fanatic.
What the fuck is that?
Fanfic.
What's fanfic?
Furry fanfic.
No idea what fanfic is.
Fanfic.
There's an F in there.
Fanfic.
And identifying
fiction,
with animals
maybe?
has
Fiction?
nothing to do with the Indian people that have spirit animals,
right?
Or
no.
anything like
well,
that. It is
all right,
completely different thing.
So go back to the originality of furries. Like Lindsay said, this all started over in Japan. It's all anime. And
it's been going on for years.
I've read articles where people compare this to Trekkies, like people who like Star Trek and go to Comic-Cons.
And they dress up and they spend the $8 billion on the outfit so I can really have the working lightsaber. Like, it's the same thing.
So they say that the bulk of the people who make up the furry nation, whatever you call it, I don't know what you call it, are artists.
I like that, Furry Nation.
Right? Furry Nation. Fur Nation.
Fur Nation.
Yeah, these people are artists or people that like to draw, like to make little anime movies and stuff like that. And that's typically the group that's connected with this.
I like Christine's last sentence. Yep. I will not be going anywhere near Pittsburgh.
I will not go anywhere near.
Dan dropped the F-bomb.
First F-bomb of the show.
Whoa. He typed in ducks and it changed.
Automatically.
He gets a triple just because he dropped it.
Right?
I know,
exactly.
Right? Wow, Dan.
Good job,
Free drinks,
Dan.
everyone.
All right. So if you fit any of those categories, you might be a furry.
Yeah, I identify with the pity.
All right, this I definitely can't read. I pulled this up. This is a little bit of history on furry, some furry facts.
I gotta concentrate on this one. Hold on.
Unless Will can
Would
read
you
it
like
better.
me to read it?
Yes, that'd be great.
A little easier for me. I'm closer to the screen. The history of the furry fandom is the collective history of science fiction, cartooning, animation, tabletop gaming, role-playing, costuming, and countless other fan communities. Anthropomorphic or human-like characters have existed since the earliest examples of human artwork. However, dedicated fans to this genre in the context of modern fandom have only come into being in the last 40 years.
40 years. 40
It's
years.
been around for 40 years.
Oh, in Japan, it's huge.
Oh,
wow,
yeah, but not.
It's,
wow.
It's Comic-Con. It's literally Comic-Con.
Okay.
But
for
it wasn't,
their anime characters.
Okay.
but it wasn't
That's what
like
it
it
is.
is now.
No.
It has
know
morphed
that
into something
The
very
U.S.
Yes.
has changed it. Japan
Yes.
is still what Japan is. Their kids aren't going around doing what our kids are. This is a U.S. spoiled brat children thing.
It's
Is
only
it?
here, and it's only in the last several years that I'm such a cat, then I need a litter box at school.
But understand, it's not just children.
It's not
No.
just well.
No,
It's
it's
just
adults,
accepted
too.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's
So
adults too.
go ahead. Well,
Fans of that says funny. Is it supposed to be furry?
Probably for
Fans of
Furry.
funny animal characters, such as those seen in Disney animation and comics or underground comics, such as Fritz the Cat, formed the first organized groups in the mid-1970s as artist-centric amateur press associations. Currently, with the independent comic book boom of the early 1980s, numerous titles featuring anthropomorphic characters rose to prominence, including
Yeah, good luck with
yeah.
something.
Albedo Anthropomorphics, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Usagi Yojimbo.
That's an anime. I know that's an anime.
Those are
animes,
That's-
yeah.
That's anime.
As a result of the popularity of these works, fans outside of the pre-existing funny animal artist groups organization. Oh, hold on. Fans outside of the pre-existing funny animal artist groups organized the first general fan parties in the mid-1980s based around the shared appreciation of animal characters. The gatherings initially took place at room parties at science fiction conventions, but notably consisted of fans of comics, media such as Star Trek, or given literature such as Watership Down. The diverse population of attendees at these early general parties was the first to dub themselves furry fans. And then it was more like Comic-Con because they were just dressing up in
Yeah.
appreciation of the characters
of whatever
that
it
they
is.
love.
Right.
And
Fritz the cat used to do porn. What, Dad?
Rule 32.
Okay.
There's a rule 32. What's the 30? What's the other 31?
I'm pretty sure it's 32. I'm pretty sure it's rule 32. The rule is if there exists something that you could ask, I wonder if there's porn of that. There is porn. of
There
that.
is. If you can ask it, there
Oh,
is.
that's true. That's true.
So
Okay.
apparently this Fur Nation or
there
whoever
are,
it is,
there are
they
jokes
have
rolling around in my head about cats and
Did I just fuck your head up?
yeah.
so apparently they had their own language. So they
Okay.
so
What?
yeah. Yep.
But
That's why I put
Trekkies
this slide up
and-
there.
But don't Trekkies
I'm glad
and
you did
Star
not
Wars
ask me
and
to
everybody
research
else
all
have
I mean,
their
that.
No.
true,
No,
true.
Trekkies don't.
Yes, they
We-
do.
we-
they make all the
They-
weird like
No.
and stuff.
They don't. The Trekkies
Klingon.
don't have their own language. They speak the languages of the show, like Klingon.
Exactly, but that's the
They don't
language
make their
of the
own language
furries.
up,
How
like
do we
they're-
know
yeah,
that this
there's
wasn't?
there is.
How do we know
there's
this wasn't made
there's
of an
a Klingon
anime?
dictionary out there.
Is
So-
it really?
Yeah, not that I consider
Well-
myself a Trekkie, but
You are a Trekkie.
Okay, so
I mean-
Klingon
Wow.
is not a language of like a country or something.
correct. It's
Correct.
A made up, it's a made up language of a made up world.
Okay,
Species, yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So, all right. Let's be very real here. Here's the difference. All right.
Did you really say let's be real?
Oh, that's
Be
really-
really real.
Here's the difference.
You realize
all
the
right?
topic, right?
They actually created an entire language for the Klingon race, like the people that made Star Trek and so that like became kind of in its own way a real thing. But if you go on social media right now, I just yesterday watched this utterly ridiculous video from this twat wagon that thinks she's a cat that talked about it. She explained the different ways that her and her twat wagon friends
So what do you really think
communicate
of her?
with each other through meows.
The whole bag, Will. Say what you feel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's hear it.
What was her name again?
Oh,
Um,
Andrew can speak Wookiee. That's cool.
I don't remember her name,
Oh,
but
that's
for
great.
argument's sake, it's twat wagon.
Okay. Andrew can speak Wookiee. We're gonna have to get that on the show.
So I don't know if you
I
want
was
to.
gonna say, I want to hear that.
know,
I want to hear.
I gotta say,
Andrea speak
Arthur, if you
Wookiee.
want to
Doesn't
actually
he,
like
like,
get
purr
a
or
video of
something?
that and send it up this way, that would
Right.
be outstanding.
You just
We'll post
outed
it.
yourself. It now has to happen.
And now has to, yeah, exactly.
That's great. Oh my goodness.
Stand-
Arthur, send us that video.
Stand by for the video.
I can speak Groot. I am Groot.
You're not saying it at the right inflection.
All right.
Right? I didn't really feel the. You know,
Didn't
Yeah.
feel like you were putting
Let's
the
hear
effort
it.
you
into
were
it.
really.
Come on.
there.
Let's be real. Nobody can do it like Vin Diesel.
Oh my God, that's Vin Diesel.
You didn't know that?
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm not a nerd.
Matter of fact,
Sorry,
Not only-
sorry if reading the
Sorry,
credits
Erica.
actually considers me a nerd, but
not only is that Vin Diesel, but Vin Diesel actually did it in every language so that it would be consistent.
Really?
oh, that's a good.
What?
That's
Really?
interesting.
Nice piece
That's
of
a
trivia. there.
dedicated motherfucker. Right
I'm gonna
there.
keep that nugget in my back pocket for 6 months, and I'm gonna put that in the
The
quiz.
quiz.
Oh, geez.
Just for
These
Lindsay
quizzes
and,
are-
just for
Another
Lindsay and
question
Wendy.
I know I'll get right.
Right? There you
I
go.
remember it.
These quizzes have like a trivial pursuit. Like,
They do. He
F
saves
you
them
to
for
that.
later.
Yeah, right.
This
Yep.
week's is gonna be fun.
okay.
good.
Okay, let's get rid of our first speech. I can't even deal with it right now.
Oh,
All right.
Are we? Oh, sorry.
Did you want to read any of the first speech? I didn't think so. I was just going to put it up
No,
there just
it's
Oh, okay.
saying that they had their own language
good job.
at the talk. So this was interesting. The stats of who typically are furries. You want to read that off, Will?
Sure. This is a little hard to read even for as close
I
as
just
I
put.
am.
I just put up what the boss told me to put up.
So male is 73.2%.
Big shock.
Fuck. No. Female is really 1.1%.
And that's stretching it.
Wow.
So
Transgender
that's how equal we are.
transgender is 12.5%. Non-binary is 12.5%. What even does that one say?
Gender queer.
Oh, that one's a little fuzzy. Gender queer 4.2%, gender fluid 5.6%.
I'm not even sure what agender is.
No gender at all. I think it's supposed to be like asexual.
So it's funny how other is higher than female.
Hi, right?
Agender
Wow.
is
So-
2.9% and other is 1.
I mean, this is like
So
right
you know
out
what
of
I'm
Big
learning
Bang
out of this,
Theory,
Wendy?
What was
Is
that?
that girls are the smartest out of all of that.
right?
Well, you
Oh,
don't
this
know
is,
how
this
many.
is straight out of Big Bang Theory.
That's what I'm learning.
You don't know how many females are in those other categories.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
exactly.
once you qualify
non-binary,
yourself as
gender
something
queer.
to that, you're dumb anyways, so that's fine. Like that, look at that. What in the actual fuck?
Oh, okay. I thought I jumped ahead there, but sorry.
What is? I mean,
What in
So
the
that's
actual
an
fuck?
actual website. If you go to that website, you can pull up that person who
Little
truly
Buddy the
believes
cat?
she's a cat.
That's
So-
fine. Does she live out in the barn and keep the rats away from the hay?
I mean, she should
Right.
be.
Well, then she don't think she's that much of a fucking cat, does she?
If
So-
she ain't eating raw rat, then
Then I think
you're
we're
not a
good.
cat.
And how she got piercings when she's a cat? We don't do that to our animals.
So
That's animal abuse.
the report came out a couple weeks ago. We talked about the kitty litter thing that the schools are putting the kitty litter in for the kids. That's been proven false.
Good.
But these are true statements from people.
Erica asked if she's chipped.
Absolutely. I
Bravo.
would take her to the vet and be like, oh, she's got a cold. Oh, you can't ask her questions.
and-
Sorry.
It's legitimate. I
Right.
like that.
Right.
It's a legitimate question.
People, please spay and neuter your furries,
Right.
please.
So
Right. We don't want them, you know,
Wait.
We don't want them breeding like crazy.
reproducing.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Fun fact, I actually used to work with a girl who was a furry in her free time.
Your
What?
free time, you do whatever you want, honey.
Right.
Like, that's fine.
If you bring
want-
that to work,
Right.
you want to
all
be,
bets are off.
But
me
but
and
at
Keith-
work she was normal, right?
Well, so yeah, she had a very
Define
busy
normal.
work because she was a housekeeper and whatnot. However, on her breaks, she would lap her food out of a bowl.
That's fine. Do whatever you want, honey.
no,
However you eat
Wow.
your food. Whatever.
Wow.
You do
No.
that.
that you
you
do at
do
home.
that.
You don't do it out. in
Right.
You
public.
do that
And
out in your
you
car.
were afraid
that's
of
fine.
of offending somebody?
Right.
I'm sorry. Like, you,
All right.
no.
All
right,
You
well,
wanna
go ahead and
be
read those.
A furry on a weekend, go for it.
Meade County, Kentucky. They identify with animals. These people will hiss at you or scratch at you if they don't like something you're doing. And they'll get a knockout.
So
Yeah,
is
I was
this
gonna
like
say,
a
they'll get
whole
they'll get
county?
wrapped with a newspaper.
That's
Wait.
what they found in the school, in some of the schools.
Wait.
So this was a parent.
This was a
talking about
parent
one of the
from the
schools.
schools
So,
in
so
Meade
back
County.
up, Meade County, is that a county or is that just a town?
I don't.
I'm assuming
Meade
a county.
County,
Actually.
Probably
Meade
a
County,
county, yeah.
Kentucky.
And is this like everyone in the county?
No, this is a parent's recollection of what happened in a classroom.
Okay, gotcha.
Next one is I had one who thought he was a dog.
This was from a
he
teacher.
literally
Oh,
walked on
gotcha.
all fours, barked, panted, growled, scratched behind his ears, and refused to be called by his real name. He wished to be called Bingo, his dog's name. That's so fucking original.
But how did he? But how did anybody know if he wasn't supposed to be talking?
Exactly.
Right.
So this next one was an article off. I guess it was on Kiss FM. It was on a radio show, and they actually talked to this person.
Teen who identifies as a cat allowed by school to act feline, not
speak.
I mean,
See,
that's
that's just
fine. You're not
crazy.
going to pass.
That's
Right.
just crazy.
Well, no, that's the thing. They probably still will pass. That's
Well, in
how broken
Arizona,
our
I know,
education
yeah.
You
system
can't
is.
leave anybody behind in Arizona.
Right.
So.
Right. So that's my point of this whole thing. It started out to be something
Mind
fun,
blown.
something like Comic-Con,
Well, and
and
that's
it's got turned around to be now just like all the other.
People think things are trendy, and so they want to.
it's a psychosis.
But now
It
they
is
want,
not-
they expect people to change for them. Now they
No,
want to
no,
make
no,
it
Cater
a
to
part
them.
of
You want
reality.
me
Now
to
they're
cater to
saying,
you.
"This is how I am. This is what you're going to do."
No.
Right? I mean
No.
but that's what they're doing. That was the whole
Oh,
point.
Seriously. They'd have to be a
Yeah,
gender or
Yeah.
a non-gender or
I
whatever
can-
it is.
Oh no, I can fucking see this shit happening.
Oh my god.
So I want to tell you a story real quick.
That'll
So
be
So
on
can we
next
get
Speaker of the
can we get
House.
like millions of
We
dollars for
love
this?
Mama Cat.
right?
Oh, I like that.
Can we get like millions of dollars in next year's budget for this?
For
I'm
what?
sure there
Probably
already
good.
is.
Furry
Probably-
studies.
How do you know
I'm
there?
sure,
Oh,
I'm
they
sure it was
probably
part of the
are.
pork.
Furry studies. Yeah.
It was probably part of the pork.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you know
What,
it's
what
not
did,
already
what
there?
did Erica say about
Microphones. We don't need no stinky microphones.
right? Exactly.
She can project her voice.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's
she can.
good.
She's a mom.
So I want,
Dad says, "Will you please splurge and buy Erica a microphone?"
we have extra
She's
microphones.
good. I think she doesn't want
It's sitting
one.
out here.
There's literally one
This
sitting
is
next to
Erica's
her. And she
microphone.
won't
She
use
uses.
it.
She refuses to use it.
Erica just kind of likes to stay in the background and just inject herself in small
When she
doses.
needs to.
Right? That works.
So this is me. I'm sorry. This is what I think.
Can I tell my story
I
first?
go ahead.
Oh, you will pay for that later.
No, because her
It's
opinion
a
may
good story.
her opinion may reflect after my story. So
No,
no, it doesn't.
No.
Then tell your
no, go for
opinion.
it. Tell everybody your story. You already got them hanging on the seat of their pants.
So
Good story.
so when I first started my band back in the day, we had a drummer. They lived out here in Santan, and I went over to meet his family, and really nice family, but they had a little girl, maybe 8 or 9 years old. And I walked in the house. We were over there for our barbecue or something, and I look over, and she's crawling over on all fours, and she starts scratching everybody on the leg and meowing. Okay, I figured she's just being a kid, just
Yeah.
playing around.
Moving
No big deal.
around, playing. That's
So-
fine.
So I probably been over to their house maybe a dozen times. I have never heard that girl speak a word. Every time you saw her, this is what she did. She'd walk around the house meowing on all fours, scratching, hissing, trying to emulate a
Okay.
cat. And Lindsay and I were talking about it earlier that it's because the parents are letting it happen. They're not, it's one thing to play a character. We all did it when we were kids.
Oh,
right? We all played
absolutely.
Army. We all did things. But when it came to reality, we understood the difference between reality and play. And I think what happens today is there's no boundary set. So what they do in fantasy carries over into reality,
And
and
they
they
don't know
expect
any
that
better.
to be the norm.
True.
And if mom
Right.
and dad catered to me, why would everybody else not?
Right.
Well,
right.
that's like my little boy loves to pretend he's a freaking dinosaur. You think I'm gonna let him act like he
He's
really
going to
is
identify
a
as a
dinosaur?
dinosaur.
Mhm.
No,
Little
you
boy's gonna understand the difference.
you
between
play dress
fantasy
up,
and
you play
reality.
pretend. You're not that
There's
thing.
there's a time for everything.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
grew
And,
up
and you got to teach that to kids.
exactly. I grew up with cats. I can't even imagine how many times I'd have my mom sew me a tail or some ears or something so I could run around and play with the cats, and I'd make little forts and pretend like I'm hiding or whatever, but I never thought I was a cat.
Right.
Right.
And it's definitely not to discourage imagination, because kids need to have an imagination. That's
But
what makes them
we're
creative.
stunting
That's what.
them by
Right.
telling them
Right.
that this is life.
Right.
That they can be a cat. No, you
Yeah,
can't.
there's no way that those people are going to be a productive member of society.
No, they're
No,
not. They're
no.
they're gonna look just like that one right above there with holes in her face, and she's probably a druggie and living off the system and everything else. So welcome to our tax dollars.
You tell me what
Thank
job
you
that
very
twat's
much.
going to have.
Well, I'm not-
Nothing.
and like-
she can have a job with all them damn holes in her face, let alone,
And like,
she thinks she's a cat.
like Erica said, the person she worked with, she would drink out of the bowl like a cat. Maybe that's fine and dandy if nobody's watching what you're doing. But if let's say you get an important job, some of these people have important jobs, right?
You do
Let-
that shit at home.
Right. Exactly. It
You
should
go,
stay
you
at
put
home.
your
It
suit on,
shouldn't-
you go to work,
right.
you're
do
good.
whatever
You
want
walk
at
through
home.
that door, you do whatever you want. Put on your cat outfit.
How do they have an important job?
I'm just saying.
Well, if they're like a business executive.
You don't
or
think some of those
something.
people that go to
I
these
was gonna-
Comic Cons are
I
like
don't.
doctors and lawyers and
Comic-Con's
stuff?
one thing, but if you actually have a psychosis
But
where you
that's-
think that you're a cat,
But that's what I'm
You
saying.
never
That's
know.
what,
Or a
that's
llama? I
what
don't
started
know.
it.
I don't think you've
Like-
gone to and gotten your MBA and you're running a business.
Well,
You never know.
let's try this out.
You never
I'm
know.
gonna call- I'm going to call shenanigans.
We got some
on
rich
that.
people that go on Epstein's Island. I mean,
Well,
Right?
that's just because
know.
they're
Let's try
demented
this out
that
for
different
size.
ways.
Demented
You
in
got
different ways.
you got all
exactly.
these kids right now that the school is literally putting litter boxes in the bathroom for them.
they're not though. That was debunked.
No, there are some schools that did.
We need to find that story then,
Yeah.
if that is the case, because everything I read said it was debunked.
But
That
if
it
you're
did.
looking at Snopes, that site sucks. They're liberal as fuck.
Does it suck because it doesn't go along with what you want it to say, or
No, it sucks because Snopes has actually been proven to twist and skew in the direction of the liberals. They are liberals and they have actually misrepresented facts and outright lied on their site before, and that's been proven.
Put up Christine's comment. That's pretty funny.
That's cute. Same thing. Yeah.
See?
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dressing
that's-
up and
yeah.
playing pretend
Yeah.
and having an imagination is not.
or playing cowboy.
a
or
bad
playing,
thing.
You know, anything, right?
Right.
or playing biker every so often,
It
right?
might have been. It might have been. It's fine.
Oh, that's great. All right, go ahead.
Don't judge, Andrea.
What were you?
What
gonna-
was your
what were you
point?
going to say? What was your point? You were going to say?
We already talked about it. That I think that it's fine. I'm not against you, like Comic-Con, having a hobby, having something you love, wanting to dress up like it, wanting to be engulfed in it. That's fine. You can't change what you are. If you're a boy, you can't say you want to be a girl. If you're a girl, you can't say you want to be a boy. I'm sorry, you are what you are. You are a human, either male or female. That is exactly what it is. You can't change that.
True,
Now
absolutely.
we have the guy in Argentina, the lizard man,
Mhm.
who covered himself in tattoos, got like injectors
Oh,
put under his skin,
split his
split
tongue.
his
Yeah,
tongue,
split his tongue.
got
Yeah.
his eyes slit so they actually look like snake eyes, like did this
Wow.
whole thing.
That dude's a freak.
He is.
But
he is.
The guy literally works for a freak show. This is his job. And he doesn't expect people to accommodate him.
He made
Yeah.
it his life. Like he
did, and
fully
that's
fucking
fine.
committed.
But
There's-
he didn't expect people to accommodate him.
And
And that's
that's
where
the-
my issue comes
That's
Yeah,
from.
the
I would
key.
agree with that.
That's
You
the
wanna-
key right there.
You want to be a cat? Be a cat. I'm not gonna fucking put a litter box out for you.
the other one
I'm
is
not gonna
Puzzle
give
Man.
you your food in a bowl so you can lick it up. No, you're
You-
gonna be a
it-
human. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna eat,
Right.
and then you can go. Like
If you want something, you need
you
to
want to be a
speak.
cat. You can be dressed up as a cat and sit there and eat your soup. Go for it, bro.
Good
Like
friend
that's
of
fine.
Walter.
The other one is the
Oh,
Puzzle
that's
Man. Did you ever see
Yes.
Puzzle Man? He's not an animal, but he literally did his whole freaking
Oh,
body as
yes.
a puzzle.
Yeah.
Yep.
He didn't.
Yep.
He didn't ask for anybody to accommodate him
No.
either. He fully committed to what he
Yeah.
wanted to do and accepted it and
Go
accepted
for
the
it.
consequences.
But do you think?
And that's fine.
And I get that. And I'm okay with that. But do you think there's a level of psychosis there, though? I mean, I can't
Yes and
imagine
no.
waking up
I
and
mean-
saying I want to look like a lizard. I don't know. I just can't. And I'm
That's-
gonna
that's a-
transform my body to that
Because
extreme to do
that's
that.
an extreme insecurity to where that is the only thing you think is beautiful and loved and blah blah blah, and so you want to become that.
So
That's
it
all
is a
that is.
psychosis.
Of course
I
it
mean,
Yes, it
there-
is. Yes, it
there
is.
might be a certain amount of psychosis to that, but I think there's a hell of a lot more psychosis to what these kids are doing right now.
I think these
True.
kids
I
are
agree.
screwed up because of everybody else around them. I think, yes, they had an insecurity or they had an imagination when they were younger, and then everybody coddled them and babied them, and now they're this, and now they'll never be better
Right.
until
Right.
they come to that big,
This
huge
is
thing
what
where they
happens
kill
when you have a world
themselves.
full of participation trophies.
Right.
This is what happens when you have a
And
world,
accommodations.
and you have a world full of non what's the word I'm looking for, but basically no repercussions for your actions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's nothing,
No.
you can't tell me I did something wrong.
That's a fantastic point.
So,
Change your plumbing through surgery, but you're still who you are before the surgery, no matter what you think.
yep. And that comes down to, well, we don't need to go into that. We've already talked about
Yeah.
that before.
Yeah, that's a whole nother,
Having to
that's
tell
a
the
whole nother
hospital.
episode.
Yeah.
If you've like, what's his name? Who's the athlete? That's
Oh,
now a woman.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner.
So when it goes into the hospital, it has to tell the doctors that, hey, I was a man, because your heart attack symptoms are going to show differently than a
Yep.
female's.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to tell them that the way you react to drugs, stuff like that, is based on DNA. So I don't care how you change your plumbing. You still are what you're born. Sorry.
And I would agree. I mean, it's unfortunate because I think that's a lesson that people are missing in today's world is however you're born,
Is
that
what you are.
well, it's not just what you are, it's learning to accept that, embrace it, and
Grow with it.
grow with
Be
it.
proud of
Absolutely.
it. Be excited for it.
And I
Be-
think that's the point of us being one of the points of us being here is to embrace that.
absolutely.
And I think these people are missing that.
Well, because you haven't been put to the test on anything. You've been given a participation trophy for everything. You haven't been you haven't had to figure out what you are or who you are, because you find that in struggles. You find that in the hard times.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
find that, you know, not when everything's handed to you and life is cheesy. You're never going to figure out who you are because you don't know what you can do.
Bring up Christine's comment. I don't know it's necessarily that the parents don't care. I think
The parents think they're, yeah.
well, there was a time where it got to the point where parents didn't want to fight and argue with their kids anymore. You
Because
know what I
that's
mean?
all it was.
That's
is
all it
fighting-
was. Right.
That's all it
So-
is. Sorry. Welcome to having kids.
You know, back when we were kids, our parents wouldn't give a shit how much we argued with them. They were right, and that was the bottom
and that was
line.
it.
Right.
You
It
can
was
yell
done,
all you want.
right?
It's still
There
not
was
changing.
there was no debate. You were told to go to
They
bed. You
would
go to bed.
backhand your ass
Right,
if you were
exactly.
going to talk
But
back.
that
Yep.
was the key. They had no problem with beating your ass.
Right.
And I'm not talking child abuse, and I'm not talking whatever. Put your
parents
panties
can't
back on,
do
stop
that
being
now,
sad.
though.
No, but you want to know what? So my old nieces and nephews. So there was 8 of them total. Spanked one once. By the time the littlest one came around, this story became so huge.
She's like, oh shit.
They
I
were
ain't
like,
gonna do
"Don't push
anything
her."
bad."
She'll like, I was in the corner bleeding. You know how kids are.
Right.
Like,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, oh, that's all you really need to do is just spank one once, and you're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
What were you gonna say, John?
I disagree.
With what?
Only because of personal experience and the fact that I didn't grow up with a whole bunch of rules. And so
That explains so much.
I know it does, doesn't it?
I had-
Oh wow.
I had 3 rules in high school. And
Don't
so-
die.
No, not even that wasn't even
Oh,
one of
not
them.
even one
that
of
wasn't
them?
even one of them.
Dang.
You know, it was,
That's the top one. 'Cause
don't
that's
drink in the
funeral
house. I
costs.
could literally drink outside. It was be home before the street lights went out.
Mm.
And no girls could spend the night without my dad knowing.
Okay.
Those are my
I
rules.
figured don't die wouldn't be in there too. But
No, that
was
wasn't in there. And so, but the point was,
Erica's face. I wish we
I
had
turned
a
out all
camera
right.
on her.
Yeah.
Just like fucking in the bedroom.
as long as he knew he wasn't going to walk around the house and run into something, he was okay with it.
I mean, I get my, I mean, you know.
How old were
we
you
need
at
an
that
Erica.
point?
I
We need an
agree.
Erica cam. Now all of a sudden we need an Erica cam.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
John,
She's
how old
like-
were you?
She's just thinking of her. She's just thinking of her little boy. Like,
Right.
hell no. She's like,
She's
she's not
like-
even getting married till he's 40.
Right.
Grow up in a household where it was like, here's a box of condoms, use them.
No.
Was this
It
like
was go get
I mean,
your
now,
own.
now on the other hand,
He had
now
to go buy his own.
I will admit. So, and here's my point though. But I will admit though, my father did teach me what was right and wrong.
Right.
My father and my parents did have certain expectations of what I should be doing as far as right and wrong. And my grandmother, who was also a good influence, was a good Christian woman who was very much in saying, teaching me manners and
Yeah.
teaching me what was expected as far as being a good Christian in society and things of that nature. Now, was I a little bit of a hellraiser? Just tiny bit. But on the other hand,
I'm just watching Erica.
it's, but on the other hand, I mean, I wasn't like, I raised myself. I will say this. I guess my point is I raised myself, but then again, my parents talked to my friends. My parents were very good. They knew who my friends were. They knew who my friends' parents were. They
kept an eye on you through other means.
Yeah, they participated in what I was doing, in the fact
And
that
who
they
you
knew
were
what I was
around.
doing and who I was hanging around with. And so my biggest influence through most of my junior high school, and definitely afterwards when I was in the Navy, was my peers. It was not my parents.
Right.
Granted,
You had those core values.
I had the
though.
base. Yeah, I had the core values that were there. And so, everything from who I am now, I attribute the vast majority of it to my peers during those years from when I was,
That's true.
What would that have been? 13 through, let's say 13 through
23.
26.
Yeah.
Erica's got some questions.
What?
Okay, so I, like you, did not grow up with very many rules. There were 3 rules in my house as well. Not as structured as yours.
Yeah, you're shocked at mine.
Yeah, so my rules were: don't bring anybody into the house unless I have clothes on.
Okay.
My mother used to walk around naked consistently.
Okay.
Don't steal my last bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
And if the house ever gets raided, everything in here is yours.
Oh, and trust me, she's not bullshitting.
We can sit around and have some drinks sometime
We could.
and bring up some good stories. Because there was a time where the house got raided by about, I think it was 4 county cops.
Oh God, I would
They took all our beer, and then we were like, all right, cool. And they left. Now, granted, this was in the 80s, so they just took our beer and left, right? And they were like, as soon as they left, and we're watching out the window, and as soon as they got out of the driveway, we got the beer out of the other fridge in the garage and brought
brought it
that
back
and
in.
continued the party.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So would you say you agree with Christine then that the parents just don't care today? I mean,
No, I don't
is
think
it-
it's that, because there were people that I know that who knew my parents, who thought that my parents didn't care.
right.
And I think it was more of you have to give the good base. And so this is a conversation Winnie and I have had multiple times in the past, that we've lost, I think, some of that good moral ground,
Core
base,
values,
core
yeah.
values,
True.
which are basically, and you don't have to be religious. But on the other hand,
it's the fear of God, but it's not necessarily
but
as
it's-
God
it's-
is God.
it's
It's,
the-
knowing that
the-
there's rules,
Judeo-Christian
knowing
style,
that there's, yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
I
all
think-
that kind of stuff.
I think a lot of that goes back to when we were growing up, or at least when John and I were growing up. I know, like, I had a stay-at-home parent.
Yeah.
My mom stayed at home. I think your mom worked all the time, right? Okay.
Yep.
So
I raised myself.
So, I mean, there was somebody, at least in our generation, that your mom was not normal. Well, and I mean,
My
I
mom's
We
a
know
know
little
that. Look
different.
at John. What do you expect?
what I mean by that is that situation was not normal, because when we were growing up, it
That
was
both parents
normal
worked.
for
One to stay home.
a stay-at-home parent.
Yep.
Usually mom stayed at home, but there was one staying at home to really
Watch the kids, clean the house, do the
mom was the disciplinarian. Mom was the one to inflict,
come home and do your
values.
schoolwork, come
and-
home and
So, I mean, you had someone there overlooking that. And in today's world, both parents need
have to
wo-
work.
Both parents typically need to work, or there's
Where
a
did
lot
we
of
go, John?
Want to go back to that screen?
Oh,
No, you don't have to. We're not going to have
We
time
don't
for
read
those
that.
discussions.
Okay.
there's a lot of wow, I just totally lost my
Sorry,
line of
that
thinking.
picture threw me
No,
off.
that's okay.
So the parents worked at home, one stayed at home.
Right. So, I mean, you had someone always,
Making
guiding
sure you had
kids.
boundaries.
Involved. You had somebody involved.
you had someone
Is what it
involved,
comes
whereas
down
now
to.
you got two parents working.
Probably opposite shifts.
and not necessarily. Sometimes they're on the same shift,
Yeah.
and kids are, they're at
In daycare or at school under their
exactly after
guidance.
school care or
Yeah.
whatever. So, you don't have as much involvement as with your kids,
And that's what I think it is.
The time for involvement is so short.
Well, and are
Right.
they doing it? No, because they're probably working, or they're doing laundry, or they're doing grocery shopping, or they're whatever, because they aren't taking that time.
It's not they're not there for all the day-to-day things
Yeah.
when things come up, because a lot of times you bring these things up
That's
when
it right there.
Yeah, they don't
Exactly.
have any
Yeah.
structure.
And I
absolutely.
think so both my parents worked growing up. So my mother stayed at home with me until I went into school, and then my mom worked as a teacher. So she worked when I was at school.
okay.
And that's literally what we did. She transitioned from every school that I went to. So elementary and sixth grade, up until sixth grade.
Middle school.
There you go. She worked at the school I went
Junior
to.
high. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't junior high because that was 7th, 8th grade. But up until 6th grade, she worked at the school that I went to. So she would take me to school. She would take me home. We'd go home. But there was always time for us.
Right.
There was always time for just us. No TV on, nothing else going on. There was always that us time. And every day my parents made that initiative to do that. My dad worked 10, 12-hour days every day, even on weekends. But we always had that time every day where it was just us. We talked about things. We went over things. I had very little roles when I was in high school, junior high as well.
More than 3.
Tell me where you are is pretty much my only role. I would go out with friends during the day when I was at school. As long as my parents knew, they were fine. They knew where to find me if anything was wrong. Oh, and don't fail. Those are my 2
Oh,
rules.
I didn't even have that.
Let's be
But I
fair
think
here.
I think we don't care. Not that we don't care. We don't take that time and invest it in our children.
Well, we talked about this. Families don't even sit down and have dinner together
Nope.
anymore. I mean,
No.
Well,
That's
a lot of
investing
times it's
family
because
time.
Johnny's doing this and Sally's doing this, and they're
But
running
you
all
take that
over.
10
but that's where that
minutes and you
structure's
sit
got to
down.
be.
Did
That's
not
where
trust
Absolutely.
Sally
Yeah.
at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that-
you rook Sally out from under that video game.
Yeah,
You rook
come
Johnny from
sit
that litter
down
box,
and eat
and you
dinner.
sit down
It's
and you
time
eat
to eat
dinner.
Well, and it's not the video games. It's
Anything. It's
What are you
anything.
shaking your
Right.
head at?
one's got
Anything.
softball, one's got
Yep.
outside
take-
sports and stuff like
but
that.
you have to take that uncomfortable time and structure that time into that
I
to
did-
figure
I mean,
it
I did
out.
things after school. I played in school band. I did marching band. I did
We
all
still
that
always had
stuff.
dinner
And I didn't
together.
get home late, and we always sat down as a family and had dinner every night.
So
Yep.
There was
Now
a
look
point,
at you. You're all tattooed up.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a hellion now.
Look at
So
him.
let's be fair.
Go
All
ahead.
right. So this is not entirely just a broad spectrum thing. My parents, I think, did a fantastic job raising me and my 2 brothers. My mom and dad were great. We, like you guys, we always sat down at dinner together. We always had time for each other. We grew up with horses, and so we were always going riding and doing different things. And they definitely taught us right from wrong and everything else. Sometimes it just doesn't fucking work. My one brother is a total asshole and a piece of shit, and my other brother has spent nearly his entire adult life in prison. Not my parents' fault. They
No.
damn
No, of
sure
course
suck.
not.
Sometimes it
They damn
happens.
sure
Absolutely.
suck.
I absolutely agree with that.
Not blanketing the parents suck for these kids, but the parents do suck for a lot of these kids.
No, but like John said,
But there's still no structure. If
Right.
if you could show me that these parents were telling their kids, okay, no, but they're children. So where are they getting these costumes? Where are they getting this? It's not like they're just not doing it at home. So these parents have a lot to do with it.
Well,
True.
some of the little kids, sure, there's no way they're getting anything without the parents.
right.
But these teenagers, they have ways.
You don't have a job, you're not going to buy a $300 costume.
They're
Well, that's-
thousands of dollars. Some of these
Yeah.
Well,
costumes.
they steal it,
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're right. They probably
Yeah.
do, or
Yeah.
trade
Well,
drugs for it,
or they
whatever do.
exactly
here's
they
a-
trade
hookers, who
things with their
knows?
friends.
Here's a prime example. You take the strict parents with the teenage daughter, okay? And the strict parents make the teenage daughter leave in, decent covering clothes. The teenage daughter goes to school and changes into skimpy ass shit that they shouldn't be wearing.
Right.
That
Yeah,
her
they-
friends bought her, and that's fine because at least it's not
they have ways.
Yeah.
And some of the
But it's
teenagers
still a
have
reflection
problems.
on the parents.
It's
then.
still in their house that they're not allowing it. So at that point, that's a teenager being a teenager. The family is doing what they can do at least to help control the situation. I don't think that's happening in these furry situations.
These furry situations.
I mean, that's actually
That's good,
that's quite a
right?
commitment getting together every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Every
Uh-huh.
week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big commitment.
We
So-
do that.
Yep, we do.
Mhm.
We do. I mean, I agree, to John's point, you get that set of core values, but once you're 18, what you do with those values is an independent choice. I mean, you
Oh,
can't,
absolutely.
parents can't control what their kids are going to
No,
do. after
absolutely.
18.
But you hope
So
that
you hope it sticks.
you
Yep.
hope that some of those values
Right.
are at least in there.
That they were listening and paying attention at some
Somewhere.
point in time.
Yeah.
Yep. I would
And
agree.
even if it takes them 10 years to figure out, gee, mom was right. I shouldn't be, being a hooker.
I have one of those.
shouldn't be a hooker. Or if I should send her some of my money.
So bottom line is, if you want to be a furry, do it
On your own
in
time.
your own time, in
Do-
privacy.
You
Don't
do you,
expect-
but don't expect
No,
us to bow down.
Don't
Right.
to it.
expect people to accommodate
Absolutely.
you. You want to be a
Exactly.
furry, you want to dress up as what's the thing that Andrea is?
You gotta
Mama cat.
The Wookiee.
Oh, the Wookiee.
You want to dress up as a Wookiee, go for it, but don't growl at me and expect me to know what the hell you're saying.
Andrea never said she was a Wookiee.
She speaks
said
Wookiee.
She
Well,
speaks
no, but if
Wookiee.
you want to dress
Yeah.
up like
Because
a Wookiee.
hey, Han Solo spoke Wookiee
He did.
Alrighty then.
because that's how he communicated
that
with.
it?
That's how he communicated with. That's how he communicated with you.
That's a button next week. Let's do it.
Oh
Let's
my
go
God,
ahead.
I'm
so
so
We need a
glad
Wookiee.
you're
We're
so
gonna have
awesome.
a Wookiee button. It's almost like that, right?
That's more like an Ewok.
That's a baby Wookiee.
What's your picture up there, John? I like that picture.
All right, so
Somebody should get on track here.
we're gonna buzz through the rest of this because we are down to 20 minutes left.
What?
And we were worried about not having enough content.
So
Hurry
too
up,
much
John.
going
Let's
on.
go.
it is so
That's
it is a
brought up
brand new day
100 things.
in the house.
Because
Oh, what
Do
happened?
tell.
Let's get into the headlines. So, all right, welcome to the border. So we got the president has been on the border. So Biden was on the border. He also announced when he stopped in El Paso that he was going to expand border security. Everybody's kind of questioning that. We saw the pictures El Paso cleaned up and gave a false
Of course, he did.
presentation to
Of
what it
course.
looks like on the ground. Everybody's probably seen that as of early Saturday morning, the House elected Kevin McCarthy as the speaker.
Yep.
Have you seen or heard about the new rules package?
No. You
Yes.
want to tell us about them?
Oh, so
Oh, well, very excited.
real quickly. Let's see. Where's
I heard about it on Bongino.
Oh, hey, I
So,
know those people.
the rules package. So here's a couple of the highlights. So they have a cut go bill or cut go rule for the U.S. House. It requires bills that call for new spending to find offset spending cuts elsewhere in the federal budget.
Mm,
So
Good
if you want to put something in, find where you're going to take something out.
wow. Okay.
Gee, that sounds like real life.
Tax increases have to be
I
a
want a new
super
car. What am I
majority,
not
which is
paying for?
3/5.
3/5.
No more automatic debt ceiling raises. Must be an individual vote. It can't be wrapped up in something. It has to be, do you
This
vote,
is-
yay or
yes.
nay?
I like that idea.
All of these are why those 20 held out.
This is exactly why those 20 held out.
They
So
wanted real change. in
anybody
the
that
House.
sits there and gives the 20. So, I mean, I normally love several of the people that were criticizing the 20 in the House, but those 20, the Freedom Caucus, they did us all a bunch of favors.
Yes, they
Awesome.
did.
So there's the Holman rule allows to cut specific agencies or salaries when appropriations are being considered.
Yeah.
So, if you've got a high level, if all of a sudden let's say the Secretary of Transportation is getting paid too much because he doesn't do his job.
Wow.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
saying
Think about
Yeah.
that. Think about that.
Some accountability is what I'm hearing.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Congressional Budget Office can analyze spending impacts and how it is affected or how it will affect inflation. They require a minimum 72 hours to read a bill, so you can't push
Nice.
Oh,
fly
a minimum?
Awesome.
a minimum.
Awesome.
So you can't push through a $1.7 billion omnibus bill
For
with
5 million pages.
with 5 hours to go.
Right.
Every bill has to be a single subject.
Oh, I like that.
That's
The bill,
good.
the
Yes.
bill must match the legislation. Or
Yes.
the legislation must match the bill. and legislation to prohibit oil from the strategic oil reserves to be sold to China.
Nice.
What you don't have on that list is what is the
Oh, I read through the entire list. Trust me, it makes your eyes spin, but it's these were the highlights.
what's the committee that nothing makes it onto the House floor without them approving it?
The Rules Committee.
Yes. 3 of the Freedom Caucus going onto the Rules Committee, which
3
is
of the
huge.
Freedom Caucus are on the Rules Committee. They say this
wow.
is the most, this is out of all the different committees, the Rules Committee is the one that dictates who gets to vote on what.
Nice.
And so this has always been a hand picked by the speaker. So this was always where how Pelosi for all those years controlled Congress.
Mhm.
Right.
So now there's 3 of the Freedom Caucus that are on there. They're going to actually do things like they want to, and we're jumping ahead a little bit. There actually is a rule there's a legislation that's coming to the floor to outlaw the IRS.
Yes.
To cut
Get
the
rid of
IRS.
them. We don't need them.
Not outlaw. It's outlaw is the incorrect word.
But
To actually defund and dismiss the IRS.
And put them down to what they're
Nice.
supposed to be doing.
flat tax.
So similar to a flat tax, it's actually a national consumption tax.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's like a national sales tax.
So they can get
Nice.
rid of this, we want to see every $600 transaction
Absolutely.
going through your bank account.
They don't care how much you make.
The amount that
It's
the
what you
Freedom
spend.
Caucus did for us, for this entire country, holding out on that House vote or Speaker of the House vote,
Saved us.
like they did favor after favor.
People don't
And-
realize.
yeah.
The things that we're going to reap off of this. Now, granted, to be fair,
Some of the
It's-
stuff, it's got to be passed by the Senate and the
it's not going to get past the
president,
Senate
right?
and it's not going to get past the president. But to be fair, it's baby steps. And the idea is that fact that
Absolutely.
we are now in the 2024 election cycle.
Yep.
Mhm.
Everybody that votes no is going to hear about that in 2 years.
Yep.
Every party that votes no is going to hear about that in 2 years.
Because if it's single issue votes, when someone votes no for something because there's a bunch of pork or because of this, they're going to know exactly how they vote.
Right.
And I like that.
I like
Okay,
it.
This
I
is
like
a- this
that.
is
That's how it
amazing.
should
excited.
be.
Right.
That's how it should have been.
But
I mean, so they say that this national consumption tax, what it will do is it will actually, it makes the economy better because it will actually promote making money and saving money,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
versus trying to, the income taxes, you're trying to spend money so that way you don't have to
pay
claim
for
it.
Yeah.
True.
Types of things. So this will actually make for a healthier economy. Going back to the previous page real quick, see while they were trying to elect the speaker, to see the WWE SmackDown on the congressional floor.
No,
I
what
heard
happened?
about
Oh
that.
my God! So
I missed
basically, a Republican from Alabama.
Is there like a video of it?
Oh, you can find it all over.
Oh,
on the internet.
okay.
So yeah, there's a Republican from Alabama that all of a sudden took a lunge at Matt Gaetz from Florida,
Oh, what?
and he had to be. And so one of his, I didn't catch who the person
These
was.
are
that was
people
behind-
that are supposed
they
to be in
literally
suits.
had to grab him and had to grab him by the face and pull him away.
Okay.
And so it's pretty some pretty bad looking video. But on the other hand, I mean, he did apologize the next day that it was bad. He lost his temper, but it's a bad video. But I mean, I give Matt Gaetz. So Matt Gaetz does some crazy things every now and then. But on the other hand, overall, he held to his guns and he said, "This is not going to happen."
hey,
Yeah.
Keith.
Yeah.
Can that be part of next week's intro?
Yeah.
Right. We can do
I
that.
like that.
You can work
So
that
they
in.
already passed a bill to defund. The first bill that they passed was to defund the 87,000 IRS
Yes.
agents.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Obviously, we talked about Biden in Mexico already.
Can they divert the 87,000 IRS agents that they just defunded into Border Patrol?
Border Patrol.
Right.
There's lots of talks about that, but it's not. They have the power to yes or no. They don't have the power to say, okay, we're going to do this instead.
Right.
It's kind of it's
it's a
hard to
job.
explain, but basically they can say yes, we're going to do this. No, we're not going to do that. They don't have the power to say no, we're going to divert this over to here
It
and
would
Yeah.
be
do
great,
this.
though.
That's not necessarily within their area of.
At what point do we expect unemployment to go up?
Unemployment's already up. Why would it? Where's it going to go?
87,000
Actually,
going into the
unemployment's been
unemployment.
down. Job
Is-
participation is down.
She's
But unemployment, the way it's counted, is technically down.
she's being facetious because
I know she
she's
is.
saying 87,000 going into the unemployment office.
Right. Yeah.
But they never hired
never
these
started.
people.
They started hiring
yeah,
people.
they never.
They hired,
They
but they
didn't
never
start.
started.
They never start.
They've got some of them.
No,
in
there's some
training.
that started working for the IRS already.
Well,
They're
and so
not
I
doing
mean, to be
necessarily
fair,
that. They're doing
so
something
the
else.
IRS
but-
claims, or the Biden administration claims, that there are 50,000 retirees coming up in the IRS. Which, yeah, and the look that Lindsay gives, that's my look too. It's like 50,000, and I doubt that all 50,000 are retiring
are going
by
At
the
the
end
same
of by
time.
the end of
well,
2023.
and that are
Right.
going to actually retire just because your retired time is coming up.
So I mean,
I was a Democratic caucus.
right? So I mean, at this point, the few that they've already hired and they trained,
They'll just give up their
they'll use them
jobs.
anyhow. So that's not a big deal. But
Yeah.
the fact is, we don't need to. I mean, the big thing is actually, if we get a national consumption tax, do we get rid of the IRS altogether? And then
Right.
these are federal employees, and they can go do whether they want to transfer over, Erica, to border security, or if they want to transfer to TSA, or if they want to transfer to
Yeah, they're a
you know,
federal
pick
employee
something.
now.
You
Go
know,
work for
you
the
know
fucking
me. I
post
keep,
office.
I keep going. You know, let's go to the, the people that actually audit the federal government, and let's start
Yeah.
putting them in that.
Right. There you
role.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. Good idea.
Transition them to that. That's awesome.
Colorado halted shipping illegals to New York and Chicago.
Of course they
All
did.
right, so don't anybody say anything. More than 270 deaths in the U.S. of athletes have been attributed to something,
Right.
Oh, that we can't say.
according to a peer review letter. Now we're going to play a little of charades,
Okay.
verbal charades.
Sounds like
What's the opposite of out?
in
In
What is it you fly on,
plane.
Plane.
or what kind of a plane?
Jet?
It's not a prop,
a jet.
a jet. And when you get shamed, don't you get
Shunned.
shunned? Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. So,
Oh, I was like, what the fudge nuggets?
Isn't that sad that we have to do
well,
it?
we're
I was
trying
gonna
to
say. I was gonna say rhymes with Maxine, but you know, hey.
all right, we're trying to stay on. We're trying to stay on the. We're trying to stay on the air here.
See, the hooker
All right.
had all sorts of different
Who
inferences.
saw that the UN said that the ozone is healing itself and should be perfectly healed by 2066?
Oh,
The
perfect.
UN said that, huh?
Good.
What?
So let's
Really?
According to the
let's
UN,
get some oil.
the
back.
ozone is now healing itself and should be fine by 2066.
Good job.
Good.
It's because we're using child labor to mine lithium to make
Oh my
electric
God.
cars.
Well,
To make
nobody said anything
batteries.
about the water. They just said about the ozone.
Right.
So, all right. Another one of the big stories, big
This is-
bombshells.
Oh,
Louise.
yeah.
So
Classified
Oh.
documents at now 2 locations, not just the one location, but the first location, this bombshell from yesterday, that the classified documents that the vice president had no authority whatsoever to take out. Couldn't take it out of the White House or wherever he got them from. Had no authority in whatsoever to take it out of the room, let alone out of the building.
Mm.
The president has the authority on a whim to just be able to verbally declassify any document he wants to. The VP, no authority whatsoever.
Oh, that's interesting.
Took
Okay.
these documents out of wherever they were. I mean, even out of the room, even if he took them out of the room, if you want to sit there and say the same argument that Trump didn't know what was getting taken out of his office
Right.
and got transferred to Mar-a-Lago, the point is the president has the authority to be able to take any document anywhere he wants. The VP does not.
Okay.
The second thing is these were in some locked closet for 6 years at an office that they claim he was never at, but he was at. There's
Isn't our
plenty of
vice
pictures.
president a chick?
No,
Now, this was when Biden
Biden was
vice-
VP.
when he was
Oh, I'm
VP
so sorry.
when he was
Okay.
VP for Obama. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry
Took
for,
me a minute.
for
I'm like,
Lindsay's
what the
sake.
hell are we
So they
talking
found a
about?
bunch of classified documents in a office space that is partially owned by the University of Pennsylvania and also President Biden. They use VP Biden's name for this. It's the Biden Penn Research
facility.
something
Sure.
Okay.
for
Who
Was he-
thinks
It's-
thinks that this office was more secure than Mar-a-Lago?
with Secret Service at Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
In a
Who
locked
thinks
in a locked
Mar-a-Lago?
room that the National Archives had been to months before and said, all you got to do is just change the lock and we're cool with this.
Who thinks Mar-a-Lago was 10
in
times
Mar-a-Lago,
more secure
the
than
National
this office?
Archives had come, or the FBI, one or the other, I can't remember, had come to Mar-a-Lago
Right.
months before the raid, taking a look at the closet where all this stuff was at, said, just change this lock and we're cool with it.
So they were fine with it.
We're fine with it. And that's what they said. Because there's some speculation, according to Bongino, and I get his point because he's ex-Secret Service, in the fact that the FBI was trying to set up the Secret Service to take the fall, take the hit. So, and Arthur, you're absolutely right. I mean, the VP has no authority whatsoever to take it out of the room, let alone out of the building.
Right.
So, because this was compartmentalized secret stuff. So,
Interesting.
Well, it's like the highest
And then
classification of top secret, wasn't it?
it is the highest classification of
But yet
any
they
secret
fried
material.
Trump, and is this even in the
Well, and then they
mainstream
sit there and
media?
they said, and so, Bongino brings up a good point. So they said, well, now the mass media is saying this morning, well, it's only, a handful of documents, not the hundreds of documents that was down in Mar-a-Lago. And Bongino brings up an excellent point. He goes,
It
so
doesn't
what,
matter
they sat there and they said
the
Mar-a-Lago
number.
was the nuclear codes. What if what was sitting in that closet for the last 6 years were the nuclear codes, and it's only 30 documents of the nuclear codes? Is that okay?
Is that cool?
Is that it's only 30?
So-
It's only 30 documents. Not a big deal.
So
Yeah.
But then they
mainstream-
found out it happened again in another spot. So now the fact is, the funny thing is, did
So
you
he's got
see,
two
Will, that
stashes.
today the documents that were turned in actually were turned in by his staff?
Probably
yes, his legal staff.
Well, yesterday was his legal staff. Today was his staffers.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's not fantastic.
Yesterday was his lawyers. Today was his staffers.
So when it was his legal staff,
What is
at
it,
least
though?
they have a potential
the
chance.
They won't say
documentation?
yet. Well, the documents yesterday, there was
They're confidential.
it was
They're not going to
reported.
release
It was
that.
reported by NBC that it was confidential information on Iran, Afghanistan. No, that's not right. Oh, Ukraine. Oh, Ukraine, Iran, and
Ah, Sure it
Ukraine,
was.
Iran, and the UK.
Not China?
The
so
UK.
you
Not
don't
China.
think you don't
No,
think
but this Biden pen think tank.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to take a guess? Wendy already knows. You want to take a guess as to how much they had gotten from the Chinese government? Oh, no, correction. Anonymous Chinese donors.
Oh, billions.
Well, not billions. $54 million.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
$54
For a
million
think tank?
for what? What did you expect? What would
I
you
can't
expect?
say.
And-
I
and
can't.
what
Is
were
that
they
where
using?
his
say
money
why.
came
We'll be
from
kicked
for
off
that
again.
book
That's a possibility.
he,
What were
he
they-
was supposed to write?
Now the question is,
What did they need classified documents for at a think tank?
well, that's one thing, and then the other part of it is the fact. So since his people turned him in today, and Sleepy
So-
Joe all of a sudden has decided that he wants to run again because he really thinks he's good at this. Because all you got to do is go to
Get ice
Delaware
cream?
and eat ice cream. Is this where they start to unravel and they're pulling the string and saying, okay, this is where you're going to just go down and take the fall for all this, and we're going to
Right.
put somebody else in,
So
and this is where
But
Mayor
why
Pete.
though? They have the perfect puppet. They can get away with anything, and he
He'll
just
He'll never
smiles
get
and
reelected
nods.
though.
Right.
It's starting to come undone.
here's my
But
thing. though.
Democrats are not going to get reelected.
But see, they're going to look at no. See, we saw that before. We heard that
I know.
6
Sorry
months ago.
if
But is this where they start putting in Buttigieg, or is this where they start putting in,
put in that wiener sucker. Let's go, baby.
or is this where they start
Take
putting
another
in?
8 weeks off to have a fucking baby?
Is
Oh,
this
no,
where
wait,
they
you
start
can't.
putting in Gavin Newsom,
I don't know who that is.
Oh,
Well,
the
hey,
governor of
California.
we need
California.
a strong. I'm sorry.
or
we
do
need
they
a,
start putting in a Kathy Hochul?
Or Pelosi. Bring that old hooker
Oh,
out.
she's too old.
So,
Oh.
John, with his legal team turning it in, they have at least a chance of having some kind of clearance for
Yes,
top secret documents.
But his-
normal staff,
but today
Wouldn't
his
have
normal staff,
anything.
I have a feeling this is where they're starting to pull the string. They're starting to pull the string, so the whole thing becomes unraveled.
Right.
Because they want to do I feel, I could be wrong, but I feel that they have a 2-tier approach to this. They want to do drip to try and minimize the damage, and then on top of it they want to be able to let it become unraveled in enough time so that they can recover before
the elections.
before the election. So that
Yeah.
way it's not a story in 2024 or 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, by the end of the year, they want the story to be done
To
and over
fizzle
with.
out.
And by 24, they want it to all be just, water under the bridge. And this is our new candidate.
Interesting.
I could be wrong.
We have to wait and see how it plays out.
I don't disagree with that.
So, Lindsay,
Yeah.
Erica,
What?
have you seen that they want to now target gas stoves?
That sucks. I'm not getting rid of mine in the old house.
Did you s-
I love my
understand
gas
how they can
stove.
Start to do that. How can you literally take a nation and then all of a sudden go, poof, all your stoves are gone?
Well,
Well, they're going to get rid of. They're going to just outlaw gas
They'll just
stoves.
stop
So when
making
your
them.
gas stove dies,
They'll just
You
stop
can't
making
have
replace
to,
it.
You would have to get an electric stove.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
let's
Gas is
let's
so
face
much
it.
better.
Well, how about the fact
centuries-
Wendy brought up a good point, and then I ended up reading an article later after she said it because it all of a sudden dawned on me. The vast majority of the restaurant industry works
Has
on
to-
gas.
Oh, yeah.
They,
The
they all
vast
use
majority
gas
of them.
There
stoves.
is no,
stoves.
yeah, absolutely.
Nobody
like
uses-
The
real-
only ones that
real
don't are literally
restaurants-
fast food.
Yeah, the real restaurants all have gas stoves.
All have
Absolutely.
gas
I didn't
because
even
they
think
have
about
to
that.
control. They have to
Uh-huh.
control that. So,
Well, not even that. Do you want your steak cooked on a flat top?
well, I mean, sure, it's called McDonald's.
I'm not getting
There
a
goes our
steak
sponsorship
from
for McDonald's.
Right, exactly.
So, but I mean, the point is, this is
We've
so.
cooked on with gas, not just gas, but we've
Well, what is the
we've
point?
cooked on flame
I'll tell you
since
the point.
caveman days.
Right, right,
But
exactly.
what is,
And
so
now
what is the
all of a
point? Are
sudden-
they
so
trying
late.
to get
I know,
rid
we are
of
late.
natural gas?
So John's
Go
got
ahead.
an actually
Go ahead.
good perspective, I think, of this.
So do you remember
that I
back-
didn't think of.
Another 3-letter agency is going to be born.
GSU.
GSU.
That's a fantastic one there, Keith.
That's John's.
freaking
John said it.
hilarious.
So, I mean, my point was, remember when during the, Biden and Harris and Buttigieg and all them were debating who was going to be the Democratic nominee for president?
Mhm.
And they asked specifically during one of the debates, how are you going to get, what are your feelings about fossil fuels and how are you going to get rid of them? And he goes, we're just going to phase them out. We're just going to push them out
Yeah.
so where you can't use it anymore.
Is this the start of it?
Is this
Could be.
part of it? Because
This
this is again the same thing I
But what
told
are
Wendy
they
earlier.
saying
This
when
is
the
the first.
EPA
This is the
targets
first
gas
domino.
stoves?
Once they say gas stoves, because that's the easy. That's
Then
the
the
low hanging fruit.
hot water
Then
heater.
they go hot water
then
heaters,
your-
and they move to everything else. Next thing you know,
Well,
furnaces.
air conditioners. You
It's-
now you
well,
have to get a
furnaces,
new.
air conditioners are electric no matter
Well,
what.
but
But
your
your
air
furnace-
conditioning
your
unit,
furnace are
it's all
usually-
one out
Let's
here.
just cut it
You're-
and say it's not going to happen. It's like the electric car thing. It's not going to happen.
Well, I mean,
well,
the
you
say
electric
that,
car
but you
thing
never
is
know.
happening
I
in
was gonna
different
say.
places.
The thing is, if
no,
you don't,
to a degree.
but you
To a
say that,
degree.
but on the other hand, you also heard the President Obama say they're not coming after your guns.
Right.
I don't listen
And
to anything.
and
they
not
say.
that I'm trying to tie it into Second Amendment, but I'm just saying the government has a
Interesting
uncanny
way.
knack of being able to say they're not going to, and then turning around and going to.
No, I
Yeah.
believe they're saying they're going to. I don't think it's going to take fruition. I don't think it's
Well,
not to
we'll
the
see.
extent that they think it's going to. You just brought up a good point. We've been bringing up points about the electric cars with the big shipping, the big rigs and stuff, trying
Yeah.
to do that
Yeah.
electric and all that shit. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong. When it happens, in 20 years from now, I'll eat my words. But I don't think it's going to happen.
If it's going to happen, I don't think it's going to be in 20 years.
Probably
If it's going to
not.
happen. I think it's going to be in the next 5 to 10.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
Put up Dad's last comment.
You already did.
Did he?
Yeah.
You missed it.
I agree.
Me too.
Electric stoves.
Hey,
suck.
Wendy, yeah, Wendy is.
Yes, I
yes,
hate
Wendy-
ours.
Yeah.
Hate it.
That's,
All right, keep
that's
moving
the
forward.
only
We're out of
thing
time.
All
I
right, so
miss
did you
about
see
my
that
old house.
the FAA grounded all flights this morning? We talked about that already.
Yep.
The federal government extends the public health emergency for COVID. New
What?
house.
I
Oh, yeah.
know.
They
Crazy.
say they say this will this will probably be the last one.
No, because
Yeah,
they keep
okay.
getting a shit ton of money. Why would it be the
Oh.
last
Yeah.
one?
New House committee to decouple economic reliance on China and stop data and intellectual property theft.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, political cartoons real quick. I've been to the border.
Nothing to
Did
see
my
here.
selfie. Joe Biden finally went to the border, and all I got were more illegal immigrants. Investigating Joe Biden with the classified information from the FBI.
I like that
Exactly.
one.
This from the silly file, real quick,
Yes.
because of gas stoves. AOC. So Ronnie Jackson from Texas says, I will never give up my gas stove. If the maniacs in the White House come for my stove, they can pry it out of my gold dead hands. Come and take it. She goes, did you know that ongoing exposure to NO2 from gas stoves is linked to reduced cognitive performance?
So she's been.
And then
huffing
somebody
the gas.
said, here's a pic from her Instagram live in February where she was clearly using her gas stove. And she's got her head in a bowl.
Clearing her sinuses out.
Wow.
Just saying. Just saying.
Well, the Biden admin is the ones wanting to do it, and I've seen plenty of pictures of Joe Biden cooking on a gas stove as well.
They showed that too. Yeah, that resurfaced today. Joe Biden cooking on a gas stove.
Yep, they all do. All the rich people do.
Yeah. All right, quote of the week.
Because electric stoves suck.
They do.
Quote of the week. So I thought this was fitting for this week from Theodore Roosevelt. Nothing in the world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort, pain, and difficulty. I have never in my life envied a human being who led an easy life. I have envied a great many people who have led difficult lives and led them well.
Exactly. Like we were talking about, you don't know who you are until you're.
There are, the more
out.
I read about Theodore Roosevelt, I will say that there are some scholars that think that he was possibly the best president we ever had. All right. Who's ready for the quiz?
We have time. We're like out of time.
10 quick questions about coffee, beer, and wine. We need something that's a little fun.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
We can
Question
go over
number
it, it's all
one.
right.
What country drinks the most beer? U.S., Ireland, Germany, or Australia? What
Ireland.
country drinks the most beer? U.S., Ireland, Germany, or Australia? Sorry, folks at home. We're going to buzz through these quick. All right. I got a CBC. What do I got? I got a C and Will. Just spell it out. Stick it out there. What is that? B?
B.
Germany.
You know them crazy
What
Germans.
state makes the most wine behind California? Missouri, Arizona, Michigan, or New York? What state makes the most wine behind California? I got a B and a C and a D in the studio. A C in the studio.
I don't think that's maybe.
And a C. New York.
Really?
What?
New York.
Well, upstate is big.
Upstate.
Oh.
What does beer have that ale does not? Hops, malt, yeast, or fermentation? What does beer have that ale does not? Hops, malt, yeast, or fermentation? Oh, lots of quizzical looks on their faces.
Yeah.
I think that
Not sure.
I think there's like several A's being
This
put
is
up
a
just because
stab in the dark.
nobody knows, and they're all going, okay, we're gonna just
No.
guess. What are you guessing, LCD? Come on. A B? Is that your final answer?
I think she's right.
Yeah.
I think she's right.
Hops.
Oh, is it hops?
You
Okay.
said hops is in everything.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't
your
say hops
fault.
is
You
in
said
everything.
hops is in everything.
What U.S.
That's
city
ridiculous.
consumes the most coffee per capita?
My house.
New York.
You're right.
New York, Portland, Seattle, or Austin?
Ooh.
Per capita. Per capita.
I don't know what that means.
Per person. What U.S. city consumes the most coffee per person? New York, Portland,
Seattle's best,
Seattle,
baby.
or Austin.
Right?
That's where
Every
Starbucks
one of these
was
are
born.
big coffee.
I gotta
Towns.
be different.
Yeah, I would think New
I have
York,
an A,
but
C, and a C, a
I'm
C
being
in the
different.
studio, and a D in the studio. New York.
Really?
all
Wow.
Number 5. What
Look
country?
at me, I'm on fire.
What country produces the most coffee?
That's
Colombia,
gonna be-
Argentina, Brazil, or Ecuador?
it used to be Colombia. I'm
Yeah.
going with I'm
What
going with
country
Brazil.
produces the most coffee? I got a B in the studio. I got
gonna
a
say
B,
it's
C, and an
still
A out here.
Colombia.
Oh, we are all over the board on this. Brazil.
Oh.
You suck, Keith.
All right. So, what country commonly uses coffee to make wine?
Ooh.
I don't know. We need to go there.
Philippines,
I know.
France, Brazil, or Ecuador?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with French.
What country commonly uses coffee to make wine? Wendy's
Guess.
got an upside down D. She's not sure she's committing to that.
Yeah.
Will still hasn't put his answer
Yeah, I
up
did.
yet. Did you? Oh,
C.
C. Okay. Waiting on when? A
what-
D.
Yeah.
Philippines.
She's like, man, I'm gonna have to go with my
All
D.
right. How many cups of coffee does the average person consume in the U.S.?
Not in my
200,
household.
400, 1,000, or 1,500 cups
Is this for like per year?
This statement
Per
is
year.
furry. I like
I was
that.
gonna say
per
yeah.
year. How many
Per
cups
year.
of
Welcome.
coffee does the average
Hello.
person consume in the U.S. per year?
Oh,
I'm gonna say this because this is our house.
just because me, right? Exactly.
This is for Keith.
I got a
Per
D. What do you
year?
got, Will? Oh, Erica's
Oh,
changing.
man.
I got a C.
Oh.
Erica went with a C. Will's got a D. I got a D.
I mean,
and a
us
B.
non-coffee drinkers really, bring it down.
400. Wendy's right on that one.
I'm like for our house.
Number 8.
100%.
Which country consumes the most wine? Which country consumes
country?
the most wine? France, U.S., Italy, or Portugal? Which country consumes the most wine?
Oh, the old Italians.
They're a
are-
bunch of winos.
You're
Yeah.
Well, I picked
I got a
Ireland for
C's
beer, and I was wrong.
I got a pair of C's in the studio. I got an A, C, and C out here. It is the U.S.
Really?
consumes
Really?
the most
Wow.
wine.
Wow.
All right,
Bunch of
now,
I've
drunks.
got one yet this week.
now your choices were France, U.S., Italy, and Portugal. Number 9, which country drinks the most wine per capita?
Per person.
France, U.S., Italy, or Portugal?
I'll
Which
go Italy.
country drinks the most wine per person?
I'll go Italy with that.
Yeah.
I got a
You
pair
gotta
of
say
C's in the
A, aren't
studio. I got an A, C, and C out here. Portugal.
Wow. Wow.
Nobody got
All
that.
of us
This
were
is
wrong.
crazy.
Number 9. What
Number
was the world's first web stream?
Sorry, guys, we're going a little fast just because we're trying to.
What
We're
already
out
was
of
the
went over
world's
time.
first web stream? A coffee maker, a beer fermenter, a coffee roaster, or a wine bottler?
I'm
What was
gonna
the
go
first
real
Just
thing?
because I like wine.
What was the first thing streamed
I'll
on
go
the
with
web?
Coffee maker.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
coffee maker.
I got an A. Will.
Ooh, it could be a coffee roast.
Will's thinking. He's
I'm gonna go roaster.
changing.
We're gonna tag team
LCD's
it.
changing
I'm
her
going
vote.
to
She's
C.
waiting on Will. Will's got
going
a
to
D. I got a
roaster.
C, A, and a D. A D out here, and then an A and a D in the studio. It was a coffee maker.
Dang it.
A student at Cambridge set up a webcam to find out who was drinking all the coffee in the office.
That's
awesome.
great.
That's awesome.
All right, current status is real quick. Just covering this up here for the last few seconds. We've already gone through this just so we don't lose track. Yeah, 87,000 IRS agents. Are they on hold? We'll see. And then obviously we have the rights getting accused of what the left is doing, considering what we're finding out. The end. Look for a CTC
I promise you,
short. Mom
The
on
president
phone.
has a big stick.
Oh,
Not bad. We are at 8:40
Not bad. Not
Arizona
bad.
time.
Not bad.
8:41.
Speaking of shorts,
Go
there's
ahead and
gonna,
take it back to us.
we're looking at another Rumble exclusive coming up very soon.
Ooh,
Oh,
Possibly,
we are.
possibly in the next week. So we'll see. See what happens.
okay.
Well, go ahead and play that coffee video. I want to play that real quick of the
Oh, you want to make it
Americano
small again?
ammunition coffee.
You want to get rid of John's camera? There you
No.
go. No.
He's
Will
like,
doesn't want to
"No."
be that big. That's why.
So this is our local coffee shop right here in
Right
Queen
here.
Creek. Check it out. Probably.
That's so exciting. I can't wait. We're going to go on Monday. I'm so excited.
Awesome place. If you guys here are local, go check it out. Go help us support local.
It's
All
delicious
our
coffee.
local Arizona people blow this place
So
up
did-
and make
Yep.
them make them huge.
Let's run Starbucks out of here.
So do they have an online store for those that aren't?
I have
local?
not seen that yet. I will look into that
He
for next
has
week.
a
Okay.
I'll let you
website.
know.
Well,
he does,
okay.
They do have a website. It's
Cool.
Not that you can see that, but he does. There is a website right there.
it's ammoandcoffee.com.
Can you jump up and like put that in the Lindsay cam?
Oh,
Don't you have the Lindsay cam?
Will's gonna bring it up to you.
Oh, this is why Will is the outstanding producer that he is.
A little bit back
you're not
further, a
gonna be
little
able to
back
see-
further,
you're not
and
gonna
then
be
it
able
has
see
to
that, though.
adjust. There you go.
It's
Oh, there you go.
www.ammoandcoffee.com. So
He
just
just wanted to-
Beautiful.
Will just wanted to show off his
Nice.
t-shirt.
That's
He
right.
did.
It's that.
There you go.
And his hat.
Oh, and his hat.
Can't
Look at
forget
that.
the
He's
hat.
Playing double duty there. Look at that.
Yeah. And we have been talking with somebody who's going to make us some swag. So here within, I'm
Hopefully
going to say
next-
2 months. I'm going to say 2 months. I'm not
Okay.
going to put pressure on us because, financial stability and stuff. Within 2 months, we should have
Some t-shirts.
some swag.
Okay. All right.
And this lady
Awesome.
sounds like she can do everything. So
Mhm.
maybe
Nice.
some shot glasses and coffee cups and,
Could be a good thing.
hats. Who knows?
Outstanding.
Sky's the
Sounds
limit.
good.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Have the great rest of the week. I'm so used to saying weekend, but have the great
I
rest of the
know,
week, and
yeah.
we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
And
See ya.
thank you. What did you not do?
What?
Thank you to our first responders and our military.
That's in our
and
ending.
Oh, okay. Then
It's
never
there.
mind. Bye.
It's in there automatically now. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Let's talk about our country, the red, white, and the blue. Let's stand up for glory, us patriots are true. We love America, the land of the free. We love America, our country God made.
Can't stop us. We're coming. We're coming for you.